Shit. Here we go again. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Because we got stuff to talk about, and we gotta talk about Quantumania. Yeah, look, look, here's the deal. We got a lot to talk about. I'm really interested and curious in what you guys think about Quantumania, the first film in Marvel's Phase 5. And here's the deal. We're going to have fun today. Okay? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you get what I'm saying? Okay? Let's just get a couple things out of the way real quick. Hang on, I got to refer to my notes. Yeah, I had to write some notes down. Look, this is going to be sort of a chaotic, crazy stream. We're going full spoilers, talking about the movie. I definitely want to know what you guys think about it. And from what I have personally seen online, it is a mixed bag. I think a lot of people sort of in the middle on this. A few people on the edge of like really, really liking it. A few people really, really disliking it. And at the end of the day, we've gone through this before as a community. Unfortunately, we've gone through this a little bit too much recently, I would say. And I don't want to do that thing where like I completely kill the vibe and sour the whole discussion, and my personal gripes with the film become the complete and total focus of the content in the stream, and we create this super toxic, totally miserable, horrible experience for those of you that really like the film. Okay, so we're going to avoid that. We're still going to have a lot of fun. We're doing some giveaways today. We've got a ton of really fun stuff that we're going to give away and we're going to discuss. And at the end of the day, guys, I do still believe, I thought a lot about this last night. I still do believe that things are going to turn around and that maybe they're not even as bad as somebody like myself is feeling coming out of this film. And that things are going to be... I'm not hitting the panic button just yet. Okay? Let's begin by going to the polls. I am so interested in what you guys think. How did you like Quantumania? And we'll go, loved it, liked it, meh, and hated it. I want to know. I want to know what you all think about it before I get into a lot of my detailed thoughts about it. I obviously did the video last night. Some of you guys have seen me on Twitter being super triggered. And I think that it's, look, I'll say it. I fall into the camp of really, really disliking the movie, and I'll get into why, and we'll talk all about that. But from what I've seen online, I don't know that that's really the majority opinion. I think many, many people are kind of in the middle. In fact, okay, so here's the thing. I think, and I can acknowledge, that I think I am in the camp of being overly critical about this movie. Okay, I can completely acknowledge that. As I was thinking about some of the things that I really don't like about the film, and as I was thinking about some of the just things that I'm hearing people say online about the movie, I can tell, I 100% acknowledge that I am being way too critical of the movie. Okay, now having said that, I feel the way that I feel, and as a sort of a testament, as like a little sort of example of like me expressing how I feel about it, and you know what? Let's get the gambling going on. There's no reason we can't have gambling Let's get the gambling going on. Boom, it should be on for you guys. Okay, let me kind of continue on this blurb. I disliked the film so much that I was compelled to tweet that it was bad. Now, normally I don't even like I'll tweet something vague, and I like to sort of keep the surprise of like, what is my reaction video going to be like what's the deal with that? I disliked the movie so much that I felt fucking compelled to just put it out there. I thought it was bad, all caps. On top of that, if you look at the video I did yesterday, I think it's titled like Quantumania Bad. That's the fucking title of the video, okay? So understand that I really dislike this movie. Like, I really dislike this movie. We're going to get into all the reasons why and everything like that. But I also just want to acknowledge that I do understand that I'm being hypercritical. There's some things that drove me crazy in the movie that most of you guys probably didn't even notice. And even if you did, maybe it didn't matter to you at all. I was having a conversation with Elisa after we left the movie theater on the way home. And I could already tell it's going to be a problem, because she even was in this sort of place, and it was sort of in this energy of like, well, I actually liked it, and I actually like this part, I like this part, and I'm there like, no, no, like just wanting to like rebut and talk about that. I think generally speaking, most folks, and we can look at the polls right now. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of telling of what I think the actual fan reaction to the movie is. I, by the way, don't think it's my reaction. I don't think the average fan reaction or like the audience score or like how audiences feel about the movie does not match how I feel about the film. If you look at the poll that we currently have going on right now, you've got about 15% of people saying they loved it. You've got the vast majority of people that voted, 48%, saying that they liked it. You have the next biggest portion of folks at like about 30% saying meh. So, and then you have like 9% of people that hated it. This to me tracks more or less with what I see out there via social media and the internet. Most folks are pretty like middle of the road on the film, something like a 6 or a 7, maybe a 5, 6, or 7. But they don't think it's like the very worst. They don't think it's the very best. And so I think what you're having this, and by the way, this is actually, I don't know if it's actually good for fan discourse, because what I think this is creating is some folks that really, really dislike the movie, some folks that absolutely love the movie, and I almost feel like most of the people in the middle could get triggered by either one of those people and debate why they're wrong. What that means is a lot of the discourse online is arguments between people that are saying like, dude, it's not that bad, or dude, it's not that great. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So that is, kind of interesting, okay? I personally think that narrative and fan discussion and popular opinion, that these are very important to the lifeblood of a franchise, especially one like Marvel. And it's so interesting, Feige's talking about the zeitgeist in these interviews, talking about, slowing things down, all these different things, right? There seems to be this acknowledgement of kind of like what I've been feeling for some time, and that's that you have to kind of control. And I'm not saying like control in a bad way. I think you control it by just putting out like high tier quality shit just over and over again. But the discussions that fans are having and the narrative around the movie is impactful. It's impactful to the brand. It's impactful to the people that go see the movie. It affects box office. It affects the buzz for the next project. It's like, it's all kind of tied together. Okay. And I am of the mind that what's going on right now is pretty bad for Marvel. I don't think that it's, again, we're not in Star Wars territory. We're not in like Warner Brothers territory. I don't think it's like hit the panic button, but this absolutely cannot continue to happen. You can't continue to sort of front facing say, this is the next big fucking thing that everybody's going to love, and then deliver something that's just very mid. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I just don't think that's a formula for success. The other thing that I want to acknowledge here before we get deep. So after the movie, I watched The Winter Soldier. I sat my ass on the couch and I fucking watched Winter Soldier. I just took blinkers to the face and watched Winter Soldier. And I don't think that like Quantumania has to be as good as Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is like a very rare, it's in rarefied space even amongst the very good catalog for the MCU. So I'm not trying to say that Quantumania has to be to the level of Winter Soldier. I think it's acceptable to have some movies that are just okay. And by the way, Marvel has had these ever since Phase 1. There have always been some movies that like weren't bangers, and then there have been some that are like, wow, like really, really incredible. Not every movie has to be absolutely awesome. Not every movie has to slap. But I think certain movies do. And I think when you start Phase 5, and I think when you're coming out of what just happened with the Phase 4, I think one of the reasons I'm going so hard on this movie personally, and one of the reasons why it really does bother me, is because I think this particular movie did need to be way better. You can, of course, argue that it's fine, acceptable, and there are enough things sort of set up for the future that we can latch onto that and get excited. And I'm with you. I want to talk about that stuff. I want to get excited about that stuff. I am excited about that stuff. Kang is awesome. Kang, Jonathan Majors, great get. But at the end of the day, I think this movie was either mismarketed, misplaced in a slate, or just not actually conceived correctly. You know, I've been racking my brain. About the film, and I have so many different thoughts, and I'm sure we'll get into them because you guys have questions. We're gonna, do the dialogue. We'll get into all of it. But I think one of the things I really can't wrap my head around is why there wasn't somebody in the room very early on in the production of this film that kind of was like, dude, a whole ass movie in a completely computer generated environment might not be the play for establishing our next Thanos. Like, frankly, this movie's probably better if it's just doing some wacky ass wild Ant-Man shit. And yet Kang is the best part of it, and he's absolutely the element that intrigues us for the future. But in my opinion, there's a mismatch going on there. It's like, it just, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, this movie is a problem in complete and total conception. Like, even the ideas that started very early on that brought this movie together should have probably been abandoned, in my opinion, of course. But we'll leave all of that for discussion. We'll get into all of that. It's kind of a tough one. Okay. So, shall we just get into... Yeah, similar to Kenobi. C-Dub, I think that's a good point. Shall we get into some of the stuff that I liked, and then get into some of the stuff that I didn't like, and then talk about the future with Kang? We're going to do questions and answers. I definitely want to know what you all think. Toxic Josh coming in hot. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try not to. By the way, a couple of different things of show notes, okay? We will be doing a Prime stream today at 2 p.m. I have a video coming out today that breaks down a lot of the information we went over yesterday, but just kind of like more succinct, more detailed, went out and did a little bit more research. So there's a video coming out today talking about all of the fun stuff that Feige's talking about with the future, because he's like, doesn't want to talk about Ant-Man. Basically, let's talk about the future. So that video's dropping today. I'm going to do an ending explained video. We've got a lot of videos, dude. A lot of videos coming out. One of the other things that's really exciting about the channel, so we all know Babu, okay? And you've all, by now, likely heard the Babu song, okay? Well, there's a Nerdventure that reached out and put some piano to the Babu song, and we're thinking about doing a whole ass song with piano for Babu Frick. And I just wanted to put that out there because I think, well, we could all use a little excitement and something to be, hyped up for. So, boom. All right, Prime Avengers. I'll see you guys at 2 p.m. Okay. So, let's talk about the redeeming qualities of the movie. Let's talk about the stuff that we liked. It's Kang. Like, that's it, pretty much. It's Kang. And Jonathan Majors deserves a lot of credit. Like, he's awesome. Very nuanced in the portrayal. Like, I think one of the things that's, I could actually, if I really wanted to, just really hone in and focus on what Jonathan Majors did, because I think it is truly fantastic. And he seems like such an awesome dude, man. I'm loving, a lot of the interviews, the red carpet stuff, and just the energy and also, the intellect behind the answers that he gives are compelling, and you can tell he really takes it seriously. I love a lot of what he says about opera, this, that, second, and the third. To me, this Kang was really, really brilliant, and one of the most interesting elements about the character is his relationship with Janet, and sort of I think because he has obviously this sympathetic feeling towards Janet, because Janet not only saved his life, but she opened up to him. And I think in some ways, and we don't get enough to really fill this in, so I'm kind of doing the legwork. But I think in some ways, it's possible that Kang found a connection back to reality via Janet. I mean, when you're seeing, he even talks about this in the film, when you see time the way he does, he just realizes that things are different. You realize how small things are, and it just completely changes your perception of reality. There's a moment in the film where she says, "You'll destroy trillions of lives," or something like that, and he says, "I wish that mattered." I thought that was a really good line. Look, love this script. In a lot of ways, it's fucking ridiculous, but there's some really great character stuff with Kang that I think we'll come to appreciate a lot more as we move forward. That line where he says, "I wish that mattered," that feels sympathetic to me. This isn't a psychopath that just wants to destroy everything and completely take over. At the end of the day, he's motivated by the complete collapse of the multiverse that he sees, so he's trying to sort of undo that and take control. I wish that mattered. That's different than that shit don't matter. You know what I mean? So there's some really interesting stuff going on with the writing and with the performance by Majors. I really, really liked it. I do think, though, that it's handicapped by the sort of forced ending and closure that they try to do to this character at the end of the movie. Because, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around him being defeated by the ants, but also even being touched by Ant-Man. It feels so weird that, that Ant-Man and the Ant family poses any kind of a threat whatsoever to Kang at all. And, it's really interesting. We're going to go into some deep speculative territory here. Look, I hope this shit comes out and we can actually sink our teeth into it. For now, we just have to say it's speculation. We don't know for sure. But there were plot leaks of the end of this movie that were different, that had Scott being trapped in the quantum realm at the end of the film and Kang escaping into the multiverse. I don't think he was going to escape into 616. He was going to escape some other way, but he was going to escape, and Scott was going to be trapped. And we know that they shot a lot of pickups and things with Jonathan Majors, things with Paul Rudd, just a few weeks ago, even a month ago, okay? My prediction on this and what I see is that they completely changed the ending because it wasn't testing well to have that ending, and they thought it would confuse audiences to go from that ending and then act like everything was fine in the MCU for years until they get to Kang Dynasty, not maybe realizing that the time of Quantumania's exit point in time could be right before the Kang Dynasty, and they were probably that's way too fucking confusing and crazy. The ending of that film, where Paul Rudd is talking to himself, trying to evoke some of the mystery and concern still based on internal dialogue, it doesn't work for me at all. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? My prediction is they changed it. They came up with something. They had no time and they edited together whatever. I mean, he literally eats a piece of cake and says it's gross. And then it cuts the credits. I was like kind of in shock. You watch fucking Winter Soldier? You watch how that fucking movie goes? Cap and Sam after this incredible fucking bonding film. And he's like, you don't have to do this with me. And Sam's like, I know. So when do we get started? Like, dude, get the fuck out of here. That shit hits and puts like a tingle. Even saying it puts a tingle into my shit. I watched Quantumania. I'm like, dude. Bro. This motherfucker just ate a piece of cake and made a face and we're on credits? I don't know how we even got there. I was trying to just talk about what I liked. I was trying to talk about Kang. I was trying to talk about what I liked, dude. So, yes, Kang good. I think still undercut by a couple of different things. It's so weird. Like, it's almost like when Kang shows up in the film, I don't know if y'all feel this way as well. But for me, when Kang actually showed up in the movie, it felt like a different movie for like a half hour. Like, it literally felt like a different movie. And I saw flashes here and there of like, Joe, like they could have went for it. You know what I mean? Like, they could have went for it with this, that, second, and the third. Like, I was like, dude, because it's really compelling. He has a really interesting energy. The build up to him's cool. His dynamic performance fucking eats up every line. It was great. Right? So that's what I like. Now, let's talk about the post-credit scenes a little bit. Of course, spoiler warning, because we're diving deep on them. What did you guys think of the post-credit scenes, man? Like, did you guys really like them? Are you super hyped up for what's coming? Do you have any complaints about it? Did it seem forced? What do you think? Loved them both? Loki one was the best. I agree. Yeah, that Loki one was great. Also needed it to be more menacing. Yeah. Loki hype. Yes. Yeah. So, and again, like, look, man, like, we could talk around this. We could fucking, try to sugarcoat it, etc., etc. The bottom line is, it feels like this shit is rushed AF, dude. Because that first post-credit scene, I guess the mid-credit scene, is meant to be absolutely incredible. And we did videos about this like 2 weeks ago when it leaked, right? And it's exciting. The Council of Kangs. Are you fucking kidding me? Ramatut, Immortus, all of it. Dude, so cool. Like, the concept is there. I think it is something that they've had in the works for some time. It's an incredibly interesting idea. It changes things. It recontextualizes things. It has all of the hallmarks of an incredible post-credit scene, what Marvel does best, and did I just say they do post-credit scenes best? Let's just move right past that. In the sense of setting up what is to come, brilliant job. But dude, I cannot sit here and say that I love that post-credit scene. It felt like the costumes were wacky as fuck. I don't know if Majors actually got enough time as an actor to dig into these characters and give the actual different portrayals and different nuances, the voice, all of it, body language. I don't know if he did that or if one day they pulled his ass to set and said, we're going to shoot this thing. It's got to be super secretive. You're going to play this, that, second, and third, and just let, go. Because it kind of felt like it was that one where they were like, just go. Like, just doesn't look good. Wacky, ridiculous, silly, crazy. Okay. And then, bro, why are they all fucking yelling like they're at a goddamn UFC match? Who is this character? Kang. Who is this character? And why are all of his variants teleporting in and acting like they're at a fucking corporate holiday party from Madison Avenue in the 80s, just blowing complete tables of cocaine? What is happening? Who is this character? Why are they acting like that? It doesn't make any sense. That's not Kang. Who? What? What is that, dude? It's almost like I can almost see the production of that, where they're like, okay, so they're all gonna bite, and they're like, well, it's kind of fucking boring with all of them just sitting around. Maybe we should like have them do something. You know, it's supposed to show, don't tell. What if they all, I don't know, rage like fucking rabid animals? What if they didn't? You know? And by the way, if you draw up a scene and think, oh, well, that's kind of fucking boring, then just do a different scene. Come up with something different. Okay. So, look, we're doing that thing a little bit. We're going to take it down a couple of notches. We're going to take it down a couple of notches. We're going to take it down a couple of notches. We're going to fucking take it down a couple of notches. Okay. Loki one. Really cool. Victor Timely. Awesome, dude. I'm excited. And by the way, please, Loki needs to be very good. Loki season 2 needs to be very good. So hopefully it is. And the Victor Timely thing, incredible, man. And just that little bit of Mobius and Loki back together. Love it. Did it for me. I think it's incredible. So overall, post-credit scenes, like, good, man. They set up really fun ideas and concepts. I just wish the first one was, like, I don't know, better conceived, like, just more interesting. It feels very rushed. It feels like they had the concept, and I don't know why it was rushed in the way that it was. Now, we're going to do a stretch here, okay? We're going... Dude, 100% Kendall. Great point. Timely bit felt better acted. Yeah, it's almost as though he knew about that character, prepared for that character, and that character is a very big deal. And it kind of seems like the other ones are just thrown together. Maybe not. I'll try to reserve judgment. So now, we're going to go through a few things I really didn't like about the movie. And I'm going to try to not get super toxic about this. Okay? Again, I acknowledge that I am being overly critical of the film. I acknowledge that many of you enjoy it way more than I did. Okay? But let me talk my shit. You know, I think some of you guys, and I've seen this expressed on social media, all of this stuff, right? And a lot of people are like, dude, you set yourself up to be disappointed. You've been talking about the reviews, you've been talking about Rotten Tomatoes. You set yourself up for disappointment. You went into the movie ready to hate it, and that's why you hate it. That is not fucking true. I went into that movie hoping, ready, wanting that I would love the movie, fall in love with it, and be with it the whole time. And the whole time I want to be thinking in the back of my head, man, fuck these critics, man. Or, oh, dude, all these people. I was ready for that, bro. I was ready for that. Started having drinks. I was like, dude, let's go for 3. And, I had 3 strong drinks, took, 40 blinkers to the face. I was ready to give a passable movie a gold fucking star. Like, I was ready. I was trying to do everything I could to just go in, have fun, and get along for the ride. And I can't exactly pinpoint like how or why, but within 5 minutes of the movie, I started actively hating it as I was watching it. Like, some of you guys have asked me, is it as bad as Love and Thunder? And I'll tell you that this is my explanation. In many ways, it is a better movie than Love and Thunder. I had just as bad a time watching it as I did Love and Thunder. I'm trying to get to the point where maybe I want to watch it again, But guys, like, I don't want to watch this movie again. Like, I disliked it that much. I don't want to rewatch this, like, ever. And to me, I was sitting there truly in disbelief with, in my opinion, that everything they were trying to do on screen was fucking missing, and yet the movie just kept going. It was so bizarre. I feel like the family dynamic, the scenes with Scott and his daughter and Hope, all of it. You know, a lot of people are saying, like, I wish Wasp got more time to shine. Evangeline Lilly, I wish she got more to do. Bro, I thought she was so incredibly wooden and one-dimensional in this movie. It was mind-blowing to me. Fucking MODOK has more dimensionality than the Wasp in this movie. She's a board. Catherine Newton, man, I'm trying not to go too hard on Catherine Newton. But I kind of low-key feel like Catherine Newton was a fucking black hole that sucked every other performance in the movie down. Okay? Like, bad, bro. Bad, bro. Like, and this is what's crazy. When you're in a scene and you're dragging Paul Rudd down, because Paul Rudd's a really good actor, dude. And you're making Paul Rudd act down to such a level that, like, I was having like a visceral reaction, dude. I was having a visceral reaction. And none of the family shit works. All of it feels contrived. It was like literally it felt like line reading at film school. And you're like, well, this is fucking horrible. Next page. You know what I mean? Like, this is fucking awful as fuck. Next page. Holy shit. Okay? Like, very, very bad. The other thing that just blew me away was the editing. Bro, who is editing these movies? There were a couple of times I almost want to rewatch the movie just to really hone in on how poorly edited it was. There was one shot, I talked about it in my review last night. Literally a cut from Kang walking into a portal, holding Janet's hand, and it literally cuts to a scene where he's on his crazy ass chair and Janet's being brought before him by guards. Oh my God, I almost lost my fucking mind. I was like, what is this, dude? Like, who edited this shit? There was another one where, like, Hank Pym, they just show this random-ass shot of Hank Pym landing the ship, and I can almost see the wheels working when they're like, well, we have to let the audience know that Hank is here in this place. And they just chose, like, they're just like, fuck it, dude. Throw, like, half of him landing in there. They'll get it. Bro, it was so bad. The editing is so bad. Weird cuts. Weird aspect ratio changes, like just fucking weird choices. I was like, what the fuck? So I think for me personally, as somebody that, like, unfortunately does get hung up on that kind of shit, I think it's at the level of Love and Thunder. Okay. Whew, I hated it. I hated this fucking movie, dude. I really did. And again, I can acknowledge I'm being overly critical. I can also acknowledge that, like, dude, like, I'm like this. I'm a fan in a way that also does this shit for a living. So it's like, it's a really more, I don't want to say intense, but it's certainly a more involved process of fandom than otherwise would be. Because, like, in my mind, it's like, oh shit, not only did I not like this, but now I have to go talk about it on stream. I have to go make content, and I have to try to keep the fucking fandom together and keep us excited about what's to come, right? And so it's like, it's an extra aggravating situation. So what's the deal? Okay, what's the deal? Why did this happen? Why is this happening? Okay. Well, I think we kind of all know. At least to some degree we know. We know what's going on. And, you know, there's been a lot of interviews and articles and things coming out talking. I want to show you this article here from the Hollywood Reporter that dropped yesterday, I do believe. Check this out. much is too much? Marvel and Star Wars. Disney rethinks franchise output. By the way, I thought it was hilarious that they put this Yoda, like, I don't know what this is, like a meme or something like that. It's just really interesting to me. Extraordinary expensive, the costs are. Yeah, kind of wild. So in this article, guys, they talk about trying to the slowdown. And they talked about, and this sort of spread out yesterday over the internet, that even Ironheart is probably getting pushed, and that the only 2 live action shows that we know for sure are coming out this year are Loki Season 2 and Secret Invasion. That's it. They're going to probably push everything else way off, okay? And, you know, X-Men 97, I think, is still safe, thank God. But other than that, they're pushing everything way off. On top of that, they have Guardians 3, they have the Marvels, and then, unless something changes, they have a 10-month break, almost a full year break, between that movie and their next film. And I think all of Marvel, and this includes Kevin Feige, is receptive to the dip in quality and to the feedback from the fandom as far as what is happening. And we've heard a lot about, you know, like Feige's literally talking about like product and content and how he hates those words and that things are changing around. And I think they absolutely are changing and signaling that they're going to change and they're going to take their time. The bottom line is this: Quantumania is absolutely a Phase 4 movie in the sense that it comes from that hectic pipeline and the date didn't move. Which, you know, when I was thinking about this, I was like, dude, they delayed Doctor Strange 3 and literally shot like a whole nother movie worth of stuff to fix that film. And I know some of you guys still fucking hate that movie. I think that movie's fan-fucking-tastic. And either way, I wish that they maybe would take that time on like all of their projects. Now, I know that's not realistic. You can't spend double budgets. You can't shoot for 3 more months, 7 days a week on every single movie. But I guess where I'm confused is like, was this not as important as Multiverse Madness? Like, because obviously Multiverse Madness is very important. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done what they did. Was this movie not as important? Because it feels like it was supposed to be that important. And one of my other questions here is like, so you're slowing down and you're delaying all of these projects that we have coming out. But if I think about Quantumania, if I think about a lot of the movies that have been in trouble over the past couple of years, the shows as well, it's not a post-production problem. It's a pre-production problem. Like, some of these are just conceptually bad ideas. You know, and a lot of people talk about like all new, all different Marvel, and I'm sorry, it's true, it's just straight facts. Stupid idea to try to adapt a failing comic book line and try to bring all of those characters in and do that. So from a conceptual standpoint, that's a terrible idea. But I also think you look at Quantumania, bro, conceptually, I think it's a bad idea. Like, doing a whole movie into this totally CGI, volumed out, like, and I didn't even touch on the visual effects, but they're horrible. Like, I feel like conceptually that's a bad idea. So my question is this. I have actually a lot of faith, and I'm very excited about a lot of the 2023 projects and a lot of the projects that are like going into production. Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3, you know, very exciting. But how the fuck is 6 months of potential post gonna fix Ironheart? How's a year of post gonna fix Agatha? Do you know what I mean? And so I think at the end of the day, like, depending on what, you know, depending on like how bad you think it is and how bothered you are by what is happening, it kind of feels like we might have to eat some more shit. You know, like we might have to eat some more shit before we get to the stuff, and we get to the stuff that's better, and we get to the greener pastures for Marvel Studios. I'm not really sure what the answer is, I do think, though, this delay that we're about to experience, this like 10-month delay, the possibility of just 2 shows this year, I really hope that a lot of the time and the energy around that will be spent to fixing these problems and making this stuff better. You know, the other thing, too, is like, I guess we're going to have to wait and see, because as I said, of course, I'm going a little hard on the movie. I'm being a little bit overly critical of Marvel, etc. Maybe it's not quite as bad as I'm signaling. I still think, though, that even the most fanboyish among us must admit that, like, this is not a spot we want to be in as a fandom. It is not healthy for the fandom to continuously have divisive, middle-of-the-road, you know, really, in my opinion, lackluster content. It's not good for the fandom. So how much damage will we still have inflicted upon the fandom before the content begins to actually show the changes that they're apparently making right now? That is the kind of golden question. You know what I mean? I think, for me personally, they have, I don't want to say like infinite goodwill, but they have serious goodwill. Okay, I'm obviously an incredible Marvel fan. I love what Marvel Studios has done, especially, of course, in the Infinity Saga leading up to Endgame. I love Spider-Man No Way Home. I feel like it's a flash of what is to come. I love Multiverse of Madness. There was a lot of stuff that I really like. Shang-Chi. I like Loki. So I'm here. I'm still riding. And I will, like, I'm just going to say it, and it is what it is. I'll probably eat a whole year of shit straight before I, like, get to a Star Wars level with my feelings of fandom, you know? So, please, 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 fix it. Please, 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 do better. I think that's it. That's the take. You know, that's the take. It's this one hurt. You know, I'm gonna be honest. This one hurt. I made a video like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. I said this is make or break for Marvel. Whew, I'm scared to go back and watch that video. You know, because I almost feel like every single thing that I'd said they really have to nail, they didn't. So it's like, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, and Kalisto, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. That's crazy. Thank you so much. By the way, when it comes to the members, we're going to do another drawing for this $200 GameStop gift card because the homie never got back to me, but we're not going to do that today. Okay, we've got other stuff that we want to do for giveaways. I've got some fun prizes we'll do for giveaways. But if you're a member, we give away a $200 GameStop gift card to a member each and every month, just as a way to give back for all the support. Okay. What else? What else should we talk about before we get into the Q&A? Should we talk about how absolutely horrifying MODOK was? Can we talk about how absolutely horrifying MODOK was? Like, body horror. Like, so fucking uncomfortable. Oh my god. And there are scenes like, there's the scene where he's in there with Kang and Kang like tells him to shut up, and it's like, dude, why is he in there? Why did he keep taking the helmet off? Oh my god, bro. That was the stuff of nightmares, bro. And then they literally have a scene of showing his bare naked ass get put into that dude. I have a theory, guys. I have a theory that Kevin Feige, in the swells of the lockdown, was just dropping acid and watching fucking Rick and Morty, and I feel like we're all paying the price for that shit. This is crazy town. This is not good. You know, like, disturbing shit, dude. Where, like, on Rick and Morty, it's like, it's kind of funny, and you're like, ha ha ha, whatever, you know what I mean? But, dude, like, no. Like, no. Like, it's enough, full stop, no more, Can't do it. Don't want it. Get it the fuck out of my face. Oh my God. And then blurb to blurb, like, guy that they drink his body, bro? Bro. No. Fucking goofy ass telepath guy that's just there to do weird ass telepathy jokes. Oh no. Dude. Oh no. Wow. Wow, bro. Oh shit. Okay. Josh, the movie is for kids, teens, and young adults. Okay, cool. Good. That's good. Okay. I feel like I've said my piece. Again, I'm trying to be chill here. I hated this movie, dude. I hated this movie, but I'm trying to be chill. I totally acknowledge. I feel like I'm in the minority, or I'm in one of the minorities. You know what I mean? Like I'm in this small circle of folks that are like, bro, what the fuck is happening? You know? But it's all good. It's all good. How many holes do I have? Well, I tell you, when I saw MODOK, some of my holes closed, and felt like they were gonna close forever. Okay, I'll just say that. Like, you know when you get like scared and you just and you pucker up the butt. I was like, am I gonna need surgery to take a poop? Because my God. Okay. What do you guys want to do? You want to do giveaways? Do you want to do Q&A first and then we can do giveaways? What do you guys want to do? Want to do some giveaways? I'll tell you guys what we're going to give away. We're going to give away a set of the Moon Knight Funkos that came in like a year and a half too late. But boom shakalaka. Moon Knight, which compared to Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is a masterpiece. So there you go. Couple of Moon Knights. We're going to give away a He Who Remains Marvel Legend figure, which is so magical that it kind of is see-through. Yeah. Whoa. Pretty crazy. We're going to give away an Old Man Loki. Yeah. Richard Grant as a Loki. We're giving one of these away today. Pretty hype. And then we're going to give away a pair of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we've got a lot of fun stuff to do for giveaways. And I'll drop some nerd coins so that people can kind of try to get it. How about a Null versus Venom? Dude, I would love that. I can't find that anywhere. I would love that thing, man. Yeah. No MODOK? Nah. No MODOK, dude. Call-ins. We're definitely going to do call-ins. I feel like we need to do Q&A before we do call-ins, though. How about this? Let's do Q&A. Then let's do the giveaways. Then let's do call-ins. Okay? That's what we're going to do. That's the plan. Dash, did you like the movie? I loved it. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Let's begin. We got a lot of thoughts, a lot of stuff to get into. So it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a ride. Okay, Dan the Man first in today says SP4 pitch. Oh, Spider-Man 4. Fisk wants order in New York City. Gets Silver Sable, Bullseye, Shocker, and superior foes. Spider-Man gets help from Daredevil, Black Cat, and the Web Warriors. I actually like it a lot, dude. I think that would be sick, and I do expect Spider-Man 4 to be pretty hyped up. Yeah, let's get it. X Ace with a $20 holla, very generous. Says, there's more than a few reasons this movie was lackluster. I won't go into, despite how many negative points I have about the dialogue and scenes. I mostly like the movie. 7 out of 10 for me. Not a strong start, but not as bad as Phase 4. Interesting. By the way, you got to get a 76 or higher. Ryan, that's called getting good, kid. Overreacting as usual? Okay, look, if you guys think I'm overreacting, throw a 1 into the chat. If you and it's fine, you know, you can whatever you think. Throw out one in the chat if you think I'm overreacting. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, dude. Are you kidding me? Okay. Damn. But are we still gonna be okay? Like, don't go. Do you still like? Are we still friends? Can we still? Movie's so fucking bad, dude. It's so fucking bad. Okay, anyway. Elijah says with a $20 holla, very flawed movie, but the positive messaging of family learning to trust and support each other is what I want to see more of in media. So I saw it twice already. A united family in the face of adversity is heroic. That's true. But I will tell you that I think, the old Avatar did a much better job of that. And maybe that's unfair, because they make one of those movies every 10 years, you know? And they probably make 10 Marvel shits a year. And although I do appreciate the family element, it wasn't executed for me. It wasn't very well executed, but I do appreciate and understand where you're coming from. Do I think Kang survived? Yeah, absolutely. I actually already did a video last week about how I think the ending is a lie, and that Kang is absolutely gonna make it for sure. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, Elijah. Thank you so much. Guy from King's Landing says MODOK shouting "I'm not a dick" or Thor doing a split during battle. Not even want to imagine what humorous scenes we'll see in the next MCU movie. Yeah. That was pretty fucking wild, bro. And then he's just like laying there and dying in the whole scene with like him and Scott, and he's like, "You were like a brother to me, Scott." It's all this shit. And I mean, again, too much Rick and Morty, dude. Too much Rick and Morty. 23 Lives is now a member. Welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Appreciate you. Noah says Kang was way overhyped, and this movie blew chunks. Oh no, Noah. Noah, you're just a hater, bro. Noah, you just a hater, bro. Yo, throw ones into the chat if you think Noah's just overreacting. I'm trying to take the heat off me. Okay, Sozin says, call me crazy, but during the opening when Scott is walking down the sidewalk, I swear for a second he walked past Loki, and Loki looked hella confused and then went out of frame. Did anyone else catch this? I didn't see that. I did not see that. See, look, Noah, everybody's all mad at you instead of me. So there you go. Did anybody else see Loki in the beginning? That's kind of interesting. You thought you saw him? Okay. Life Brick says, felt like Marvel Rogue One. I was waiting for one of the aliens to say, "It's a trap!" and the air battle started. Decent little movie. 7.4 out of 10. Yeah, I'm honestly glad that a lot of people, like, for real, like, this is not cap. I am glad that a lot of people are kind of on the more positive side of the film. It's good for the fandom. Again, I'm just in the camp of, like, really not liking it. But I acknowledge, like, maybe this time, maybe a me thing. Maybe. Moving on. Devin says, so was it me or did Kang City look like the TVA city? Also, in the beginning, they said the quantum realm is below the universe. You have to pass through the void and some other place first. I was confused. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get more details sort of breaking that down. Yeah, it does look like the TVA city. Absolutely. 23 lives with a $5 holla. Thank you so much for the first super chat, man. Caleb Senpai says, weekly reminder to watch Rogue One or One Piece. Peak Fiction. Yeah, One Piece. I heard it's real good. Jaboy G says, like the movie, wifey really enjoyed it. Dev has issues, but feel those stem from Marvel having to make these movies working backwards from Secret Wars. Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah, Elisa really liked the movie too. So it's kind of interesting. Like, a lot of people liked it. You know, I think a lot of people liked it a lot more than me. And that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, nothing wrong with that. Axid says, after how many mid projects do we hit the panic alarm? Also, the last episode of Moon Girl and Devil Dino says it has the Beyonder. What's up with that? Oh, I really don't know, man. I don't know much about the Devil Dinosaur Moon Girl show. But look, when do we panic? I think if all of the movies this year are pretty mid, it's probably time to panic. But even then, it's like, well, yeah, but they have all this fire shit coming in the next couple of years. And, you know, like I did say, you know, last year and early this year that it's possible that we're still lingering in phase 4 problems, and it might take some time for that to turn around. So, yeah, I don't know, Axid. I guess the panic would be if the box office starts really trending down and the fan discourse gets really out of control. Like, as I was thinking about it, I was like, look, I don't want to do the Star Wars thing. And I don't want to be like, because like the Star Wars fandom has gotten to the point where whether you like a thing or you dislike a thing, you have fans attacking the validity of your opinion. And in this exact instance, I was like, I don't want to do that. I know there are a lot of people that enjoyed this movie, and I know there are a lot of people that enjoyed it way more than me. And so I don't want it to be a thing where I'm attacking people for their opinions. What I'd rather do is sort of look all of the people that give it a 6 or a 7 in the eye and say, yeah, but don't we all think we could be getting 8, 9s, and 10s? Don't we kind of want that? And I think we can agree on that. Like, yeah, we do. You know what I mean? And so the messaging from us to the studio, to Kevin, to everybody is like, yo, I'm still riding with y'all. But can we, like, you know, just get a few more bangers in the mix? You know, like, let's tighten this up a little bit. And again, they're signaling that they are. So, you know, maybe it's just copium. At the end of the day, I think we're actually kind of far away from panic. We're going into the phase of maybe all of us just kind of understanding that, like, yeah, like something, you know what I mean? Like, there's some issues. There's definitely some issues, right? Mariana says, Josh, did you see Liam Neeson's comments about Star Wars being diluted by spinoffs? That is big. I think more Star Wars stars will speak up about this too. I did see the comments. I do think there's truth in those comments, but it's also kind of hard because what does Liam Neeson even know about Star Wars? You know, like, is he really even in the fandom, or is this just sort of like an outsider's perspective, just kind of based on a few things they've seen? I think it's potentially valid, but like actors, it's hard for me to like take what actors say and you know, depending on the actor, of course, but it's like, I don't know about that shit. Oh my God. Just rolled a hundo? Damn. But I appreciate the question, Marianne. Thank you so much. John says, I never thought Ant-Man 3 would be that grand. The hero villain dynamic was intact. Scott and Kang were my favorite, unlike how Thor and Gore were done dirty. That's a fair point. There's some functionally better stuff. Like, here's the thing. The future for Scott and the future for Kang, it feels good. Like, it feels good coming out of this. Maybe that's the best example of a major difference between this and Love and Thunder is like, I don't know about the future of Thor. I mean, Gore's gone. And so, like, that movie, and even all the God stuff feels kind of inconsequential coming out of Love and Thunder. Out of this movie, it does feel significant, important. It's going to matter. So, that's a fair point. Brandon says, love you, Josh. I wish I could send more, but listening to the stream during work, sneaking in some blinkers. Stay safe, brother. Much love. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Dude, send what you can. You never have to worry about that shit. Stuff's expensive out there. Even the support we get, it blows me away sometimes, and I really appreciate it. But, like, literally, man, please do not feel as though you have to give anything. You don't. You know, a like, a subscribe, telling somebody about the show, absolutely free, definitely makes a difference. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. 831 Red says, my showing cut off with 20 minutes left. I didn't get to see the ending. Movie was okay, in my opinion. Loved Kang. What? How did that happen? How does something like that even happen? I hope you got your money back, man. Stormy, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate you, bro. Bryson says, Ant-Man movies are usually pretty small. They tried to make this one big, but forgot to fill the space with stuff. It was way too empty. I could see that. You know what I mean? I could absolutely see that. I just think it might have been a mismatch to do Kang's introduction in an Ant-Man film. Like, it just feels like some ideas, like, too many, like, swings for the fences in a single particular project. Yeah. 34 Virgo says, yo, Jay, a.k.a. Josh, listen, bro. I'm okay with not liking Quantumania because I'm meh about it. MCU has lost its magic as an overall brand of film quality. Need Marcus and McFeely and the Russo bros to come back as a combo. Yeah. So, okay. There is a thing here that's going on, and I've been thinking a lot about this, right? It had seemed like the Russo brothers and Disney were actually in talks and they were going to do Secret Wars. And we actually know that it was verifiably happening. Because when the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit happened, it was in the trades that the Russos were thinking about not signing that contract with Disney based on what was going on with the Scarlett Johansson comments. And it seemed like this was a sort of narrative put out to put the pressure on Disney to get the fans involved, because they were, and maybe even Feige was, unhappy with what was going on with Scarlett. Do you guys remember when the Russo brothers also came out and made comments about how you're going to get as much Star Wars and Marvel content as you can handle in the next 10 years? Do you guys recall that? Throw me a one into the chat if you recall that interview. Because I'm going somewhere with this. I'm pulling some plot lines together. Mm-hmm. So don't you think it's odd that you have Bob Iger talking about putting creative control back in the hands of executives? You had the Russos, having this issue of the direction and maybe not wanting to come back because of the contract and Scarlett. Then something happens. Russo's not directing Secret Wars. And then the Russos come out and make comments about how you're going to get it's a factory over there. And how it's going to be as much content as you possibly can handle. And then the week that Secret Wars was going to be announced, I remember somebody asked the Russos, you are not going to be going up on stage talking about Secret Wars. And they said something like, well, we're not going to. And somebody says, like, I think the question was like, well, do you have any advice of how could you get the gig? And it seemed like Joe was like, do you have any advice for us? Like, how do we get the gig? And then I think about Feige talking about content. And I feel like Feige talking about product and all of this stuff. I mean, the way I see it, it could all stem from, and I'm not even saying it's completely Chapek, because I think Iger maybe initially had this idea as well, but it really does feel like it was Disney basically saying like, yo, content. That's what we need is fucking content. And that turns Feige off. That turns the Russos off. Russos start talking out of pocket. Chapek tells Feige they're not coming out, or they're not going to work with us. And it's all starting to feel like this motherfucker Bob Chapek fucked it all up. Like, and Disney Plus too, and a little bit of Iger. I don't think Iger is like without blame here. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, cool. But how do you go from 1,000,000 miles per hour, firing on like 9 different cylinders, all these different projects, to being like, we want to get back to being the talk of the town production-wise? It's just really odd. Now, the one thing I think here that for me personally would be like terrific to hear about, and like as a fan would make me really be like, oh shit, okay, maybe we are actually gonna fix this shit, is give the Russos Secret Wars. The Marvels is delayed. Is that true? Did that just happen? Please tell me that's true. Somebody tag me on Twitter. The Marvel's poster's cool. Looks pretty cool. November. Okay, so it was delayed. Good. Oh, you had a $10? I'm sorry, Dan. Dan, can you TLDR it for me real quick, bro? Because I'm sorry. Because I didn't intend to miss that. The YouTube shit's whack. Just throw it into the chat real quick. I'll look at it. Look, guys, that's good news. And like, isn't it weird? Isn't it weird, guys, that we're literally getting this movie delayed and we're all like, good. Yeah, I'm going to do call-ins. We got some work to do. We got a couple hours. We got some work to do here. Yeah, it's kind of a funny coincidence. Yeah. So, look, man. Like, again, I feel like the dude from Big Lebowski. Nothing is fucked here. But we're skating on fuckery. You know? And so, look, I wanted to kind of talk about that and just basically be like, look, I think if the Russo brothers were to come back, it would be a very good signal that whatever all that was is water under the bridge. And now we're going to do this thing. Again, positive sign that the Marvels is delayed. Positive sign. I'm going to tweet about this. Oh shit, what the fuck? It's kind of wild. We're going through a whole thing right now in the fandom, huh? It's like interesting. It's like mad interesting. I do think Feige is navigating this the correct way. I mean, other than kind of putting out some shit sandwiches, in my opinion. Like, he's navigating it in a good way. So Dan says, basically, the franchise needs a rework. Bring in Eric O'Grady, kill Scott, make Hope the Red Queen, bring back MODOK, let the Fantastic Four, Hank from jail, 60s in the present day. Yeah, so I'm not quite there yet. I understand what you're saying. I think freshness is needed. But at the end of the day, like, dude, like, I think you just need to nail the movies on a movie-by-movie basis and nail the connective tissue. And, of course, that's hard. I'm not saying it's not, but that's, like, what y'all do. That's your bread and butter. So whatever you need to do, push Secret Wars back to 2028, dude. Do whatever you need to do because it needs to turn around. Okay? So, okay, let's get back into the Q&A. Sorry, we went on a little tangent there. Okay, Nate says, preach, Brother Josh, keeping it real. I appreciate you, Nate. Thank you so much. Kendall says, watched it last night and absolutely loved it. Scene depth was lacking and CGI had in some areas, but loved it as a start to Phase 5. MODOK's arc was meh. Yeah, again, I'm glad that you liked it, man. But I think, yeah, it's like, there's just some issues, man. And the CGI stuff, it's like, But I am glad that you liked it. 2023 Lives with a $10 holla says, hi Josh, I turned 25 yesterday, and as such, I would like to give you and me a gift by subscribing to your channel for the first time. Forever! Love your vibe, taste for cinema, and being a nerd like me. Well, I really appreciate it, man. Happy birthday to you, man. By the way, I know it's belated, but that's awesome, dude. 25. Congratulations. And I appreciate the support. We're going to keep on keeping on. Porter Stanley with a $10 holla says, minus No Way Home, I haven't watched a Marvel project since Loki, and I only made it 2 episodes in before turning it off. I've been checked out ever since. Marvel just needs to get back to the basics. I appreciate the 10. I agree. I think getting back to the basics is important. You know, dude, I watched Winter Soldier last night, man, and like I just don't know what to say. Like that, like I would dare somebody to be a hater of that film. I dare you to sit down and watch that earnestly and talk some shit afterwards. Like I fucking dare you, bro. Like it is a 4-quadrant absolute masterclass of every element that you do to create a movie. It's overrated? No, it's not. No, it is not. You watch that movie, dude. It is unbelievable. And again, I'm not saying it all needs to hit that level, but I would say that a lot of Marvel in the first 3 phases touched that bar. It didn't maybe like get there in the way that Winter Soldier did, but it was an incredible like bar of quality that they hit a lot, like over and over and over again, like a lot, to the point where like people were freaking out about Age of Ultron. Bro, Age of Ultron is like better than most of the post-Endgame shit. Age of Ultron is overhated. The thing is, it just wasn't Avengers 1. Like, it's wild, bro. Wild. Anyway, Bryson Wiley says, yeah, they've historically used Ant-Man to forward to overall MCU plot, but this wasn't the right movie for it. It should have been a different one. Yeah, I agree, and I appreciate the 5. Pretty Nikki says, Marvel needs better scripts before they start to film these movies. Ugh, take my money. Oh, I agree with you, but the Marvel formula for the Marvel Studios is kind of like a, we can handle it in flux. Like rewrites, reshoots, changing things around. They're very comfortable with that. And I don't think that's wrong. I think that's fine. But I think there is an issue, maybe in the script writing, but I also think in conception, dude. I feel like they're moving a little too quickly from conception into production. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. Because like Quantumania may be totally fine and serviceable as the 3rd movie in Phase 5. Like, I don't know. Like, there's issues. There's issues for sure. Appreciate you. Will Parker says, Cassie's cringe monologue at the end almost made me want to leave the theater. Kang was dope, but confused how he can wipe out timelines. He can't even beat Ant-Man. Yeah, facts. Like, bro, how is this supposed to be the next Thanos when he is beaten by the Ant family? Yeah. Elijah says, don't be toxic, Josh, but also, let's get toxic. Hey, I appreciate you, Elijah. Much love, man. Empire Comics says, Kang being defeated by the Wasp was just ridiculous. The Wasp? Come on, man. I agree, dude. How about when the ants and then MODOK and all that shit, dude? Oh, my God. D. Murdoch says, if that was the real ending, that would have been dope. Yeah, I kind of agree. LMI Music says, man, not gonna lie, this one hurt me more than Love and Thunder. Same. Still liked it more than that, but I really expected and wanted this to be amazing, so the disappointment really hurt me, man. Yeah, I think that's maybe like, that's like a depiction of what I feel, because Love and Thunder was trash, but it's also like, who gives a shit? It feels completely isolated. It's almost like you can forget about it and it doesn't matter. This is the first movie in Phase 5, and it's Kang's outing. It fucking hurts. Appreciate you, man. Will Parker says, the movie should have ended with the Ant family walking through the portal, but they end up in the 838 universe. Could have had a Kang end up there, too. True, and I like it. Sozin's comment says, I liked Kang in the movie, but why are all his variants in the post-credit scene acting like they're at a tailgate or something? I burst out laughing, not gonna lie. Only Tut's costume looked decent, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, I don't get it. I literally don't get it. And I'm really curious, like, how did that test? Like, I don't know, bro. It's confusing. Czech Republic says, Josh, the Kangs were celebrating the death of the exiled one in the mid-credit scene. Really? Is that the prevailing theory? Is that the prevailing theory? Well, all right then. Why didn't they just fucking kill him? If that's the case. Like, if they're so pumped. Was that not obvious? Not to me. Carlos. Fucking Carlos. Mike Snow says, sorry you hated the movie, Josh. Going to see it today, going in with almost no expectations, and we'll see how it goes. Much love. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Vito says, so people say you went into it with bad intentions are full of shit. Perfect example is how you love the Flash trailer, and we knew how you feel about Ezra. Yeah, thanks, man. Look, I always try to keep it real, and I'm not saying that, like, you know, ancillary factors don't influence how I feel, but like, dude, if I like it, if I feel like it's doing its job, if it's functioning, I'm in, you know. And like that Flash trailer to me was incredible. And of course, it's just my opinion, but like this idea that I'm like that I want to be hating, like what do you, I don't want to get too hung up on this because it doesn't really make sense at all to me. But why would I want Marvel to be failing? Why would I be excited to be negative about Marvel? Like, I don't do that type of content. There are channels out there that, like, their bread and butter is, like, you know, getting really mad at these movies. Like, Nerd Erotic is probably going to get a whole nother house for his action figures based off of the videos he's going to make shitting on Marvel after this movie. That's not me. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my thing. So, some people got it twisted. The real Jesse Lee Reed, and by the way, I stole that joke from somebody that in the background, or in the yeah, you know who you are. I stole that joke from you. The real Jesse Lee Reed says, your take on the end is whack. The tension is the cake scene was palpable and delicious. Once again, you failed to manage expectations and are hating on another movie for not being the Winter Soldier. What do you think about this? Maybe. Ben says with the $10 holla, Ant-Man 6.9 out of 10 had a crying baby in my theater. I would have wiped out the entire timeline to end that baby. Love and Thunder 6 out of 10. Multiverse Madness 9 out of 10. Eternals 7 out of 10. Spider-Man No Way Home 9 out of 10. Generally agree. Yeah, I generally agree with those scores. I think that's fair. 34 Virgo says spot on about the graphics on height depth. Oh man, yeah, that was a big one for me, dude. I was like, what? So what he's talking about is, and I said this in the video yesterday, the scene where Cassie and Scott as giant people hug in the quantum realm, if they didn't say they were giant and they used like effects to make it seem like they're all big, and then they were kind of like talking, they had to add shit in so that you knew they were giant, because the quantum realm is so goobly glob as background. It's so just fucking green screen CGI goobly glob. That you don't have any sense of the actual height. There's no, I can't grasp it at all. It was really bad. Jimmy B says, Cassie, the Bay Area activist / hyper genius, was annoying. I know, right? And they ruined Paul Rudd. Didn't know that was possible. Disney Marvel writers for the loss. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Deja Vu says, worse CGI than Phantom Menace. Don't say that about Phantom Menace. Put some respect on that movie. Cassie drove me nuts all the way, and Kang being defeated was such a bad move. Oh, and MODOK was so bad, I LOL'd every scene. Bro, literally, when there were scenes with MODOK that had me like this. Like, I was like... Like, he pops up his helmet again. I'm just like... Yeah. C-Dub says, drink the goo. Yeah, that's when I started checking out. Oh, dude, for sure. Oh, dude, that shit was weird, too. Bobby says, I love Marvel, but this failure gives me hope for DC. What if Shazam 2 is a banger? What if Shazam 2? Good try, James Gunn. And is this a chance for them to catch up? It's not necessarily a chance for them to catch up. But they could take advantage of fatigue happening over at Marvel and with the Marvel fans. Absolutely. If they nail it, it comes out the gate and it's like really, really good. 100%. They could capture some of that windfall. Guys from King's Highway says, Sam Raimi should have made Ant-Man as well. Multiverse of Madness, 9 out of 10. Yeah, except it's a 10 out of 10, but I hear you. XA says, still better than Love and Thunder, Eternals, Iron Man 3, Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Thor the Dark World. In my opinion, it's the same tier as Ragnarok. Interesting. I would say it's with Love and Thunder. I liked Eternals more. I think it's with Iron Man 3. I like Captain Marvel more. I like Black Widow more. And I like Thor the Dark World more, but it's probably in that same area. Callisto, again, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. That is incredible. Thank you so much. John Shaw says, jokes fell flat. Performances fell flat. In my opinion, sad. Yeah, man, I really barely... I think there were two things I laughed at. And a lot of them I was just like, oh, no. Sploosh says, let's go, 6 months member. My biggest problem with Ant-Man is how much the trailers give away. The first 30 minutes of the movie. MODOK, Bill Murray, damn, the trailer was horrible, even though it hyped me up. Dude, Bill Murray in this movie was like, what? Like, what? I feel like they cut a shit ton of Bill Murray stuff out. Like, because you don't even see this motherfucker after that scene, bro. Like, like he's the leader that's now serving Kang, and he has some authority over the robots that come in and all that stuff, and then he's just like, and then he's just gone. I mean, maybe that, but we don't see the squid eat him, and even if that was true, ridiculous. Anyway, Czech Republic says, don't forget Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are going to revitalize the MCU in Deadpool 3. Yeah, I agree. Marvelous Menace says, my name is Josh and I loved MODOK. Touche. Wait, what? Fifi says, I saw Ant-Man Quantumania last night. Honestly, I had a great time. Top tier? No. Worse than Love and Thunder? No. I really hated MODOK at first as a MODOK fan, but towards the end, I really loved him. Fifi, agree to disagree, but that's okay. And I'm glad that you liked the movie. And also, tell us all who you actually are. Tell us who you actually are, Fifi. Tell us your identity. Or just tell me. Seattle says, oh, wait, shit. Damn it. Fuck. No. Okay, Seattle says, I wish Kang Scott fight was a single take boxing. Dude, you know what the Kang Scott fight should have been? Kang just decimating him. Like, just decimating him, breaking all of his bones, leaving him as a crumpled up pile of bullshit. That's what that should have been. 34 Virgo says, what I appreciate is Kang, Beyonder, later showing us he's necessary evil that needs to prune his variants, but also is going about his own agenda the wrong way. Can't wait for that story to be fleshed out. Yeah, there's a lot of intriguing stuff going on with that. 100%. Let's see here. Ritwick says, Kang fought and killed numerous Avengers, and also Kang gets thrashed by army of ants. Are you kidding me? Bring those Avengers he fought. Yeah. No, that's totally fair, man. Jarrett says, I thought the movie was fine, but I didn't feel as threatened by Kang as the big bad for Phase 5. And I thought we would have gotten still. Don't think it's anywhere near as bad as Love and Thunder. 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I think that's the prevailing feeling. A lot of people feel that way, which is good. Jared DeSantos just puts a 1 in here. Yeah. Zoe the Goat says, still got love for you, Josh, but you're wrong! Zoe? I'm glad you liked the movie, man. Philip Monk says, how are they going to defeat Kang? They're going to need Hugh Jackman and Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans and maybe the Phoenix. I don't know. Jared N says 7 out of 10. In general, was cool, but the low points were horrible. Third act, Cassie, the worst character in Marvel. MODOK dead, then it goats. Yeah, dude, like, what the fuck? I really didn't like her performance. I felt like Cassie was super bad. RG2088 says, I felt the way you're feeling after watching Multiverse of Madness. I personally enjoyed Ant-Man 3. So my question is, do you think it's time to rethink the Rick and Morty guys writing the Avengers movies? Yeah, I do. And also, too, it's interesting you bring that up. I was thinking about that. I think I even asked Elisa before I went live. Is this what a lot of y'all felt like when Multiverse of Madness came out? Like, where you really didn't like it and you were like shocked that other people really liked it? Like, is this kind of like what you guys were feeling? Because I'm over here like, and there's people saying like, oh, it's fine, or like, oh, it's really awesome. And I'm like, bro, what? So here's the deal, man. A lot of you guys are saying yes. Well, frankly, that fucking sucks, dude. Like, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for me. And like, I just don't think this is good. Like, we need to just have them be a little bit more palatable to everybody. And you know, RG's sort of saying like, do you think it's time to rethink the Rick and Morty writers? Absolutely, dude. Like, and I don't know if you need to fire them, but you have to bring in some steadier hands. You know? Like, this is just uninspiring because now we've got a ton of people that really didn't like Multiverse of Madness that think, oh no, what are we going to get in Secret Wars? And now we've got a ton of people that really didn't like Quantumania and we're like, oh no, what are we going to get in the Kang Dynasty? You know? So it's like, that's not good. Like, I don't want that for the fandom. But also, Multiverse of Madness is a masterpiece, and you're all wrong. Purple Funk says, overall, I'd say 6.2, maybe 6.8. What's the difference between a 6.2 and a 6.8? I'm just curious. The rebellion felt forced. The visuals of Kang getting sucked into the Nexus at the end looked bad. Yeah, they looked rushed. John Shaw with the $10 holla says, I'll just be blunt. There is a population of people not only in this community, but the nerd community in general that don't understand basic film and will love anything with Marvel DC logo in it. Sheep. So here's the thing. I understand that feeling, John, but I'm going to push back on that because, again, I don't want this to turn into what it turned into in Star Wars. Like, I'm a guy that didn't like Andor. And you had literally hundreds, if not thousands of people telling me I don't understand stories. Now, some of it's a joke and some of it's fine. But that can't be what we do in the Marvel fandom. We can't sit there and say, bro, there's a bunch of brain-dead motherfuckers that liked Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. As much as we might feel that way, that is not a narrative I want to explore at all. At all. There was a time when there were movies that were made from Marvel that I think were just consistently at a higher level of quality, that consistently were liked by more of the fan base. That's what I want. And so I just can't get down with that idea. Even though, like, I get where you're coming from, that doesn't serve us at all, in my opinion. Captain Ziggett says, it's the final fight in Secret Wars. All the heroes of 616 in the multiverse are about to be defeated, and then Hank shows up with the ants for the Beyonder Kang. Whew, don't you do it! Don't you do it! We can't have that. Chase says, while I usually agree with your assessment of what was bad, this movie still won me over despite its flaws. Good outweighs the bad. 7 out of 10 for me. Awesome, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Deja Vu says the ants made no sense. How they evolved so fast? Oh, well, they went into an alternate dimension and had 1,000 years to evolve, live, and create a prosperous society, and yet still wanted to come back in and save Hank. So that's the explanation. You know, just fucking... Vito says, I'm taking a break from work just for the call-ins. I'm honestly so pissed off that everything is a joke now and nothing is serious in the MCU. Yeah, man, that's one thing that's, like, very apparent when you watch The Winter Soldier. You're like, bro, tonally, wildly different. And it's still funny. Like, I think Winter Soldier is still funny. I don't think it even gets enough credit for, like, the levity that it brings in certain situations. But, oh my God, tonally, completely different, dude. It's, like, completely different. Cole Ray says, the movie isn't that bad if you go into it knowing it's going to be weird and see it as episode 1 of the multiverse / Kang saga. I loved all of Kang. I liked Kang a lot. You know what I mean? So I think that's fair. Marvelous Menace says, more science, wit, style, R&M writing, less slapstick. Yeah, the Rick and Morty writers have talent. It's not that they don't have talent. I think it's that, you know, I saw like a thing where Grace said that they might not understand 3-act structure. I think that's actually fair. Like, there's no arc, at least not like a very good one. for the character in that movie. And I think that's something people had a problem with for the Multiverse of Madness as well. I actually think there is an arc there for Steven, but most of the other characters are one-dimensional because they don't want to overshadow the arc that Steven's having. But yeah, there's a lot of flatness. Like, again, like, there's just so much, like, flat shit in Quantumania. And I think a lot of the, like, the goofiness and the stuff that they want to go for and the ideas they want to explore, yeah, they're just, I think they're too wacky. And it's just too crazy. Now, if you're going to do wacky, this is the movie to do wacky. But I also think it's weird to do wacky, bill it as the, like, they're literally putting out, like, TV spots and shit of, like, an Avenger returns. The Dynasty begins. Like, dude, they're trying to sell you, like, this shit's really important. And it's just a goofy, weird, kind of like Rick and Morty thing. You know? So it's like, it's a tough combo. Tiberius Mug says, Josh, you raise a great point. For many properties, MCU, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, etc., we as fans should demand better, not just good enough. Yes, and see, that is maybe, like the homie said back here, John, was like, you know, I'm going to be blunt, like, everybody's stupid, and that's why they're going to accept this, right? But I think Tiberius is, like, nailing, like, a little bit of, like, the energy I want to bring, which is, like, we should just demand better. Like, even if you thought it was a 7 out of 10, let's tell them we want 9s. Let's tell them we want 10s. You know, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, all of you people that think it's a 7 are crazy. I'm going to instead be like, hey, all you people that think it's a 7, like, let's all get together and be like, I want an 8 or a 9. You know what I mean? Zoe the Goat says, man, Marvel has given us 20 to 25 bangers out of 31 movies. I tend to agree. There shouldn't be no panic anytime soon. We have to relax. Woosah. I agree that it's not time to hit the panic button, but I do think this is a point where we need to vocalize, like, wanting better and wanting different. Otherwise, there's no incentive from them to do so. Everything that we've seen, though, does imply that they are aware of it and that they are making these changes. You know? So I hear you, man. I do hear you. Brandon says, Babu Frick sucks. Why do you keep forcing me to pay you? Dude, that's a wild... I don't know, man. Look, you I'll keep it real. I don't know. But you know what I do know? Chase, I'm sorry. I'll try to go back. Do you know what I do know, though? He's never far away, Babu. He's never far away, Babu. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so I missed Chase's thing here. Chase says, while you... No, I read your shit, bro. I read that. I did. James Heaton says, the Marvels just got delayed to November 10th. Pretty fire poster, too. Yeah, I like the poster. I like the delay. Ross says, last thing I saw before theaters was It's Bad tweet. It was better than I thought it would be, but besides Janet and Kang, the acting, writing was cringe. Yeah, I agree, man. Appreciate the love, man. Hope you're doing well. Prince Zodiac says, I thought Rick and Morty writers plus MCU was a perfect match. Now, not so much. Yeah, and, like, this is the thing. As that continues to happen, like, that's just the shaky ground, man. Like, we don't want that. We don't want that. Yo, let me drop a bunch of nerd coin to everybody because everybody's losing their ass gambling here, huh? But here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to drop 10,000 nerd coin right now. Okay? Almost did 100,000. That would have been bad. But use it wisely because you will need nerd coin to do the giveaways. So do you gamble or do you hold on to your nerd coin? Ready for the giveaways? Yes. The choice is yours. Daniel says, what's up from Miami? Huge fan, bro. The mid-credit scene was so cringe. Looked like an SNL skit. MCU needs some big help. The MCU needs to course correct. It seems like they are. But we kind of just need to be like, yeah, you need to... You please fix it. Okay, Mike Hill says Ant-Man was good, but the MODOK scenes was so cringe and was distracting for the movie. Yeah, it was horrifying, dude. I thought MODOK was horrifying. Oh my god. Ryan Leonard says Winter Soldier is a masterpiece. Yeah, 100%. Amber says with the $10 holla, very generous, Amber. Thank you so much. Says, I liked it more than I thought I would. Pros, Kang, Michelle Pfeiffer, some visuals. I don't know, MODOK was funny to me. Cons, human in the quantum realm, weakness of Kang's army, Scott not dying, wanted higher stakes with a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, Kang and Michelle Pfeiffer carry, for sure. And it's exciting that we're getting more of Jonathan Majors. Incredible asset. Awesome for the community and for the fandom. But yeah, the lack of stakes, the sort of just way it ends by like all these convenient factors, it doesn't give you that, like, I don't know, man. I just don't see myself rewatching this anytime soon. But I really appreciate it, Amber. Thank you so much for the love. Zach says, film was lacking 2 or 3 Avengers to be impactful. That's the first super chat from Zach, so I want to shout that out. And yeah, maybe more would have been cool. I don't know. Like, to me, I'm like, why aren't you guys just going for it? Like, why did Ant-Man not go into the quantum realm and meet a variant of himself that's been fighting Kang for thousands of years or some shit? Like, there's just ways, I think, to, like, amplify it. It as crazy and as wacky as the movie is, it still seems safe in, like, odd ways. Jensen Baker says, Mary Marvelite did a video on Comic Kang. It was great. Can you check it out? Love that guy. I think it's nearly an hour. Don't quite remember. Yeah, maybe we'll watch that on stream sometime. Sounds fun. Alex says, let's all cleanse the palate with the doc today. 100%. Yeah. Star Wars Obsession says, spoiler alert, seems like the post-credit scene made it seem like Ant-Man beat a very weak variant of Kang. But then why is he exiled? Like, I don't know, bro. I mean, maybe. Caleb says, Josh, is Quantumania worse than Andor? I need to know. Nope, Andor's trash. XA says, so why was Scott and Cassie downed in goo, but the others just needed to take a single shot for the same effect? I mean, that's one of the many lapses in logic in the film. I'm not sure how to answer it. Xander says, I just joined the stream, but Josh, you can't keep praising Feige when you don't like these movies. Much love. Yeah, I thought about this last night too. I was like, is my faith in Feige shaken? And I'd have to say at this point it is. But it's like, it's maybe not even the reasons that are like what you guys think, though. Like, I think giving Loveness the Kang Dynasty writing job before knowing how audiences feel about Quantumania is like that's an uncharacteristic. Like, I want to understand it, you know? Because I'm like, what's the logic there? Because you're really smart, Kevin. You're really smart. You had to have known that you had something pretty mid in Quantumania. So why give him the next Avengers movie before you know how audiences feel about this film? Like, that's just bad. That's not a good move. Right? So, like, I don't know exactly what's going on there. I'm hoping that maybe it's just like the corporate pressure and all of these different things. But is my, I would say for maybe the first time, I'm like, what's going on over there? You know? Chase says with $10 holla, I think you see the movie through different lenses. Because of your film school background, I didn't even notice some of the missing cuts, to be honest. How does Kang lose to Ant-Man? Why leave Janet with the engine? Yeah, so no, that's absolutely true. And I try to sort of compensate for that because I understand that I'm being overly critical. Totally. And I think, like we've said many times in this stream, I think a lot of you guys are like more at like a 6, 7, maybe a 5 point whatever for the film. And I'm not. I very much disliked it. And some of the hangups that I have with it are a little bit more film schooly. So I think that's totally fair. but yeah, those other questions about like just basic story stuff, yeah, it's weird. I don't have a good answer for you. You know what I mean? Elijah says, so this phase is Kang losing every movie and then in the end he truly wins to reset the universe? I mean, maybe. That doesn't seem that good. You know? Saw Deer Hunter last night. Compared to this, please, 10 out of 10. I mean, there's just no comparison there, man. I mean, that's a really good movie. Chase, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Z Hyrule Fantasy says, I went in expecting it to be bad and kept waiting, but it never happened for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, except the Council of Kang scene. And that's the first super chat from me, so I appreciate that. And again, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, man. I lost my 10K immediately. Can you drop again, Papa? What? Come on, man. Immediately? What'd you do? Spin it all? You spun it all on red? Come on, man. JP says, this is part of why so many of us said too soon for Secret Wars and more. Not that they couldn't, but that they shouldn't. Yeah, I think that's fair. F. Mary Kill, She-Hulk, Love and Thunder, Quantumania. Go. P.S. I don't know about Coogler directing Secret Wars either. Fair. F. Mary Kill. I mean, I kill She-Hulk. No. I F Love and Thunder, and I marry Quantumania. There you go. Alex says, feels like the mid-credit scene was filmed recently. Yeah, it does. Like yesterday. Especially if the original plot leak was correct and Kang about to go out and Ant-Man stayed in. It would make no sense. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Yeah, Brian Lara says, you said the casting actress wasn't good, so why recasting of Cassie Lang? And should I wait to see it in theater or wait for Disney Plus? I don't understand the recasting thing. Like, I really don't. I just don't, you know? And, I don't know. Does anybody, I guess, let me ask you this, chat, because we're about to do some giveaways here. Anybody really disagree about Cassie? Like, is there any of y'all that are like, oh, hell no, bro. Cassie was great. Okay, so David says she's good. Anybody else? Matei says she's good. She was fine. You liked her. Cassie was fine. Dude, I thought she was bad. Like, really bad. I don't like the new one. Did you see her on the red carpet? I understand completely. I mean, she's a looker. What do you want me to say? She's a looker. For sure. For sure. She's a looker. But I usually like for you to be a looker and an actor. Yeah, I thought she was really, really bad. But it's interesting. A lot of people seem to be fine with her, so that's cool. You didn't receive the nerd coin? I mean, I'm sorry, man. Dude, Streamlabs is so whack. I'm still trying to get them to like get back to me and try to figure it out, but I can't do anything about that. Sorry. All right, Moon Knight Paps. Moon Knight Paps. Okay, so let's do this one. 2,000 a ticket. And this is for the pair. I'm going to start the giveaway right now. The pair of Moon Knight Funko Pops, which are really cool. You know? I like Mr. Knight. I like Moon Knight. I thought the costume design for these characters was particularly awesome. The only thing I don't like is how goofy Mr. Knight was. That's like my only gripe with it. Is the giveaway working? Okay, thank God. Looks like it's working. And those Funkos took forever to get in. What do you put into the chat? Somebody help him out. What do? You yeah, so exclamation point raffle, and then you put the number of raffles. So there are 2,000 nerd coin per ticket. And so it's just all about like how many tickets do you want to put in there? That's what it is. Yeah, these Funkos took forever, man. I was like, wow. Peter B. Parker says, I enjoyed Ant-Man. The editing was whack, though. Yeah. Just look at everyone else. Josh, drop a 100K nerd coin for us. I can't do that. That's too much. If you can't figure that out, then no one will help you. Oh, damn, dude. Got some people being cold. They're like, dude, I don't even want you to try to get that. Just why don't you shut your mouth when you're talking to me? You guys are crazy. Got about 27 seconds. There was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about today, but I don't remember. So Susan Wojcicki stepping down at YouTube. Chat, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts on Susan stepping down? She's a CEO. She was a CEO of YouTube. All right, let's see who wins. There we go. Boom. Hey, Bryson Wiley. Bryson. Hey, Bryson, I'm going to screenshot this. Bryson, all you got to do, hit me up either via Discord or Twitter DMs. Give me that address, baby. I'm going to ship you out these nice Moon Knights. Okay. Yo, chat. Should we combo these together, or should we just do them one at a time? What do you think? Combo or one at a time? Combo or one at a time? Moods, did I really skip your chat, bro? I don't even see it in here. Oh, okay, I see it right here. It says, seemed like a bad idea to move away his buddies that made Ant-Man so enjoyable. Pena and Co. Yeah, for sure. Would have made the Quantum Realm way more fun. I actually agree with that. Why weren't they there for the birthday? Hey, Bryson! Yes, sir! Hit me up, baby. Hit me up. One at a time, combo. One at a time, combo. Guys, there's no consensus here. I do see more combo. Should we go to the polls? But I don't get this working. I raffled 10 tickets. Did I lose 20K? No, you didn't lose 20K. You spent 20K to try and win. Stormy. All right, let's see here. What should we do? You're okay, dude. What should we do with these legend figures? One at a time. Combo. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. So while we're getting this in there, let me just talk to y'all about this Susan thing. It's really interesting. I see a whole bunch of people celebrating this. I think that's stupid. Like, I thought Susan was an incredible CEO. YouTube has all kind of problems, for sure. But just look at other platforms, dude. Look at fucking Twitch. Look at TikTok. Like, look at these other platforms. YouTube, killing the game in a lot of ways. The other thing that's really concerning about this is there's a massive Supreme Court case going on right now that not a lot of people know about. And it actually has to do with the YouTube algorithm. It's fascinating. I'll TLDR this for you, okay? For a long, long time, the status quo of internet platforms is that the publishers, meaning YouTube, Facebook, IG, Twitter, are not responsible for the content that's on the platform. So if somebody goes out and does something ridiculous, outlandish, or, does something horrible, it is the individual is liable, but the publisher is not. Okay? Now, what this new case is alleging, and this could redefine how content is put on the internet just in general, what the person is alleging is that the algorithm itself is content, and that the way the algorithm recommends videos to people is ultimately a form of content, and therefore the publisher is liable not for the content, but for putting that content in front of other people. Yeah, Craig, it's something like that. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I think that's fucking true. I've said for a long time, I think there's a really dark side, not just to the YouTube algorithm, but to algorithms in general. And this could be like literally earth-shattering for just content in general. Okay? And so it's, dude, it is really odd that Susan would just out of nowhere retire. Kind of seems like she doesn't want to go talk to Congress at all. Low key. So it's pretty concerning. You know, a bunch of people are like, yeah, Susan's gone. Bring back the dislike button. I'm like, Jesus. Like, that's not the issue. Dang, it's pretty close. 57% of people say one at a time. Okay, we'll do them one at a time. Who's the new CEO? I don't know this dude at all, bro. I don't know this guy. This is number one bullshit. Okay. This is number one bullshit. Okay, let's go. He who remains. He who remains. Boom. There you go. Same deal. Same deal. It's 2000. I know it's only one Marvel Legends figure, but this thing is awesome, dude. I actually have two of these. I'm keeping one for myself. I love the He Who Remains character. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff, I tell you. Fantastic. Apparently the new CEO is a huge NFT guy. Yeah, I've seen that reported, that he's like in the NFT space and all that. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. It's a strange time. I honestly think that regardless of what happens, this channel, this brand, probably fine. But a lot of like news, a lot of even video game people, a lot of different verticals on YouTube could be absolutely annihilated by this. If this sets a new precedence for internet moderation, shit's about to change a lot. You know? Strange times. Got about 30 seconds, guys. Get those raffles in to the chat. Did you watch the Heroes of Tomorrow Next Avengers movie? I want to hear your thoughts. I haven't watched it yet. I want to, though. Wouldn't hate channels be undesirable? Oh, yeah. Hate channels would probably be annihilated. Which, like, I have mixed feelings about, because some of the hate channels, I'm like, yeah, well, you're just a grifter and honestly, like, kind of horrible for discourse. But at the same time, it is the fact that certain people could be labeled as that and they're not actually that. That's scary. So, you know, like, this is one of those things where, like, in my opinion, why freedom of speech is so important is because even if you don't like what a particular person is saying or the ideas that they're proposing, if you allow for a single person or idea to be silenced, there's no reason that it can't turn around and silence another opinion that maybe you agree with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a very scary idea that they could start to do that. You know, and it's dangerous for all of us. So it's weird. It's weird times. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Boom. Axid. Wait a minute. Wasn't Axid the one that was saying like I was all wrong and like they love like Quantumania? Well, guess what, boys? We're doing another raffle. Fuck you, Axid. No, I'm just kidding, bro. Congratulations. Okay. Let's complete that. Let's do the Old Man Loki. Or I guess classic Loki. Wait, why does it say Christmas? What the heck? Dun, dun, dun. Classic Loki. Oh, it's just a classic, that Loki. Just a fucking classic, man. All right, boom, here we go. Classic Loki. What an incredible moment. Can you please drop some coinage? I mean, I literally dropped y'all 10,000 earlier, and I told you, you either hold on to it. I'll drop more after this one, though. And then we're going to do call-ins. And then we're doing some call-ins. No, I'm not really into racing like that, Gavin, but appreciate the question. I've actually been to some racing live, and it's way more enjoyable when you're live, but it's just not for me, man. Just not for me, man. Dun, 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 30 seconds. 30 fucking seconds, you buttholes. Ooh, I'm going to paint some models tonight. Oh, I'm going to paint some Warhammer tonight. So, yo, you wild, bro. Dang, dude. SL Luke is just on one, man. SL Luke, what is you doing, bro? Did your rabid cat get on the keyboard? Yo, thanks, Stormy. Painting models sounded less nerdy. No, I don't care. Dude, I really like it. It's such a zen, kind of like fun, like tactile thing to do. I'm pretty excited to do it. So I'm going to paint some models. I'm going to watch some Demon Slayer. Get real nerdy. Elise is not feeling well. It's kind of unfortunate. Got a cool video that's going to drop soon. As soon as I get done with this stream, I'm going to drop a video that's all the like dope MCU news, crazy Fantastic Four news, crazy X-Men stuff, and I'm going to do like a ending explain video. Like, I'm kind of fucking busy, dude. Like, it's been wild. I've been very busy. All right, here we go. Boom. Pick the winner. Audadon. Hey, Audadon. Hey, yo, Audadon. Hey, yo, you got it. Hey, yo, you got it. All right, look. Because I love you guys so much, here's 10 million nerd coin. Just kidding. 10,000 nerd coin for everybody, okay? $10,000 coming back at you. And now let's do the last giveaway of the stream. Ant-Man and Wasp Funkos. Ant-Man and Wasp Funkos. Boom. There it is. There it is. Do you want these beautiful babies? Do you want these beautiful babies together? Y'all want those beautiful babies? They're so beautiful, those babies. The little babies, they're so beautiful. Yo, we're a couple of weeks away from Mandalorian Season 3. Let's get it, man. Really fun stuff coming. Let's get it. I'm going to spend the weekend like thinking about whether or not I want to watch this movie again. Kind of not feeling it right now. Mando 3 is going to be wild. Yeah, it's like really close. It's like really kind of snuck up on me, to be honest. But I'm excited. I'm hoping it's going to be real, real good. It would be great to have the Star Wars fandom like just kind of like, yeah, let's go. Like, we're dubbing. Josh, how are you feeling about this new Supergirl? And is she going to be the future Supergirl? I think she looks great, but I don't think she's going to be the new Supergirl. I think Gunn is going to do a different Supergirl. But I think Sasha Calle looks great, dude. So I don't know. It's tough. Brendan DeLumpa says, I lost 10K. Dude, what the fuck are you forcing my hand? Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely forcing your hand on that. Definitely, dude. All right, you got about 20 seconds, y'all. Will Superman be in Batman? You mean like the Matt Reeves stuff? I don't really think so. I don't really think so. All right, ready? Let's see. Who's the wiener? Let's see who the wiener is. Daniel Ha! Daniel! Hey, yo, Daniel. You got it, man. Hey, yo, Daniel. You got it, man. Pause that. Call in logo. Go into the Discord. I'm going to the Discord. Ow, ow. And if you are a nerd venture, come on over. Call-ins. Okay, so we could probably do like 3 or 4. I got about a half hour, then I got to upload the video, and I got to get ready to do the Prime stream at 2, okay? Okay, let's get Dissing. Dissing, you're on the call. Hello? Dissing, hello? Are you there? It seems like you have yourself muted, man.
Hey, hello.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to spread some joy. So I got a dad joke for you.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So I was at the bank the other day, and this old lady asked me to help her check her balance.
And yes, yes.
So I pushed her.
Yeah, nice. I thought that was good. Look, good dad joke. Good dad joke. That wasn't bad.
I appreciate you, man. That's all I got for you.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you right back. Thought that was a good dad joke. Did you see Quantumania?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy it more than I did.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh.
We'll see. You might be surprised. You might actually really like it. So.
Well, hopefully.
All right, brother. I'm gonna. Yep. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, Stormy. I'm bringing you on, bro.
Hey, Papa Josh.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to hear from you.
Hey, man. Same. Hey, first of all, I want to say congratulations on handling the situation very well. I think you have improved yourself from like the days of WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
You're doing a good job explaining why you don't like it. Me personally, I really like the movie. I'm at the other side of the spectrum, but I understand why some people don't like it, certain parts of it.
Sure. No, and I think, well, first of all, I appreciate it because I do remember, like, I think back then, and look, it's up to every content creator to decide how they want to handle content, right? But for me, I was like, I had this idea that like, oh, bro, whatever I think, whatever I say, that is the content, and not really considering that, well, there's sort of a pattern to what we do usually. And so therefore there's a lot of people that come to the channel for certain things. And if I turn around and give them something completely different, it's just a mismatch. So I've tried to sort of still balance being authentic with also understanding that that's not necessarily why a lot of people come to the channel. They want to know about the leaks and the hype and the excitement. And I think generally speaking, Marvel fans are fans of Marvel. And so, back in the day, I do remember the WandaVision where we were riding so high. And then at the last episode, I was like such a dick about it. And then Falcon and the Wolf. Yeah.
I swear, I almost unsubscribed to the channel around that time, man. I'm serious.
But
no,
I know.
I'm going to be completely honest. That's the reason why I like your channel. I like your positivity, but I also like your negative views towards things, because listening to those, I begin to see it as okay, maybe this movie wasn't so good, and maybe I just have to rewatch it with a different set of mind, because always when I watch a Marvel movie, I'm like, oh yes, I'm hyped, it's Marvel, because that's the way I watch movies. I don't watch movies to have them be art. I watch them to forget my day-to-day shit,
Yeah, no, I totally get it, man, and I appreciate the kind words. And it's cool that you're so you really, really liked it. Was there just speak more on that? Why did it, or in what way? Yeah.
Well, I came out of 2022 with these Marvel movies, and I hated Love and Thunder. I can't say one good thing about it after a couple of months. Multiverse of Madness was just to me, I got myself way overhyped, and it just let me down. Wakanda Forever to me was great because of Namor, but some of the other aspects in that movie also felt kind of flat for me. But this one was actually the first one where I came into the movie and I was expecting less, because I watched some of your videos about 2 weeks ago when we got those first reactions. I was I'm going to temper my expectations for once. Sure. And I watched it and I was like, when is this movie going to become bad?
Sure.
But for me personally, it didn't come, because I see 50% of people actually hating MODOK, but to me, I absolutely love that guy. And to be honest, I hear you talking about MODOK being grotesque and body horror, but on the other side, isn't that the way he should be? That's the way he is in the comics, and I think he should be a goofball. Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever watched that animated show, Superhero Squad, back in the day?
No, I can't necessarily. Yeah, no, I can't recall actually watching that. No.
Watch that series. It's a 2-season thing. Not really that much of episodes, but the way MODOK was in that's the way they depicted him in this one.
Okay, and gotcha.
I liked him. And the other part that I don't get you hating is the part with the ants, because I think that was so cool.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm a big man child.
Well, I mean, look, it's kind of a fun idea. I think the reason I don't like it is that it basically just comes to a point of ants beating Kang, And look, I get it. They have all this technology and they're all crazy and it's all exciting and whatever. And it is an interesting idea. But I just don't like that they actually beat Kang. That they're the actual thing that put the pressure on the...
I can see you there.
Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the concept in and of itself is kind of interesting, but then the way it sort of pays off to basically be like a Deus Ex Machina, Kang is beaten by ants thing. I was like, oh man, that's just that kind of bothers me. But I get what you're saying, because it is kind of a cool idea, and it's Ant-Man, and Hank Pym the whole time is I like ants, and so that's kind of an interesting payoff as a comic book fan, because we like Hank Pym a lot. He creates Ultron. He's been kind of done dirty in the MCU, so kind of a redemptive moment in a way. But for me, it's just, it comes down to what that means for Kang. You know what I mean?
Kang should have escaped at the end. That way it was still kind of cowardly for him to escape. But on the other hand, now we all suppose he's dead, but I don't think he's dead. I think he's just in that thing, and he's just going through a probability storm, like they explained it in the movie, and he's going to come back even stronger. I don't think he's going to come back as the Beyonder just yet. I think we will get one more movie with him as the Conqueror, but I think this variant of Kang is going to be the one that's going to be so strong, and that will need the multiversal Avengers to go up against him.
Yeah, no, I kind of see that, and I do wonder if they'll have him come back before he becomes the Beyonder, because this seems kind of like a perfect through line to that and to him getting that power. I almost feel like we're gonna deal with the Council of Kangs and what Kang was saying and predicting as far as like them ruining everything. I feel like we're gonna deal with that for a while with the Avengers, and then he's just gonna kind of come in at the end, which is interesting because it's almost like it's similar to Thanos in the sense that like after you watch Eternals, you're like, dude, Thanos literally might have been right. You know what I mean? And like he's trying to preserve life and like stop and all this stuff. So it's kind of interesting and more layered, but I just don't know how effective it is for like normies, right? Like how are normies going to grab on to the idea of Kang as the villain when now it's just going to be variants for a while, you know?
I mean, are normies really how do I have to say it? Are they really the people who are like laying awake in their beds thinking about it? Like I think
That's
when
fair.
he comes back, they will just be like, "Oh, it's that guy again. Oh, he's the big villain."
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think that's absolutely fair. It is possible that that's the case, and it's even possible that like a lot of people like they don't even think of it at like that deep of a level for sure. But what I would say is, it kind of goes back to this thing that like red letter media says a lot, where it's like you might not notice it, but your brain will, and like they talk about this idea in in movies where a lot of people are not necessarily film critics or like aficionados. They don't necessarily even understand the technical problems in a film. They just recognize the feeling of being disengaged, or they just recognize the feeling of like not loving it, and they're not even maybe sure why. But I think that's what it is. That's the concern. It's like, okay, is this going to be a thing that just hurts the sort of general audience's experience going in? I guess time will tell.
I think one more thing that why I personally liked Quantumania is because like from the moment when we got to know that Peyton Reed was returning, was also expecting like less, because I remember the first Ant-Man watching that. The first Ant-Man is like a lot of Edgar Wright is still in there, and that's why that movie is like very, very good. Then we watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is like it's all Peyton Reed, and I really don't like that movie. And then isn't Peyton Reed also the guy who directed the season finale of The Mandalorian season 2?
He is. Yes, he is. So he gets kind of a pass for doing that.
But then again, like that's all John and Dave, you know. So I think this movie is probably saved by good writing from Jeff Loveness. I know you don't think that way, but I think he's a good writer in this movie.
Yeah.
And I would love him to come back. I think his writing is better than that of Michael Waldron. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people agree with you. And it's one of those things where, like, you know, we can sort of have that fan debate. It reminds me a little bit of, like, Tom King in comics, because, like, Tom King has that effect where, like, some people just, like, love Tom King. And other people are like, bro, get him away from Batman. You know what I mean? And so, like, I think discussions like that and things like that can be fine. My issue is the discourse itself should be less divisive going into the next two Avenger movies. Like, Marcus and McFeely were almost like not even really known. Like, I almost feel like we didn't even fully grasp just how much legwork they had done in the MCU. It was more about like the Russos and the directors and all this other stuff. But nowadays, it seems like Marvel is like really trying to sort of elevate the writer. And they're also doing it with writers that have like a spotty record within the fandom. So it's like a weird kind of situation that you know sets us up or whatever. But hey, bro, look, I totally understand where you're at with it, and I appreciate your comments about, you know, us trying to do a little bit better, you know, with the content. And I'm still really excited. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm gonna be a fan. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ride it out, and I'm excited for Secret Wars and all of that. So I appreciate the call. Is there any last minute stuff you want to bring up?
Yeah, maybe one thing. I want to give a shout out to Jedi Mike, because he's like very good in the Discord. That's my hand off.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think that's well deserved. And yeah, Jedi Mike is awesome, dude. He does a lot of legwork around the tower, keeping things in line, giving access to, like, you know, different kind of ideas, different types of content. He's an unspoken hero of the Nerd Ventures, but he's also a little bit crazy. Maybe that's why
he's Nerd Venture Prime.
He's Nerd Venture Prime. I agree. I agree, man.
Hey, Josh, have a great rest of your day, man.
You too, man. Good to hear from you.
Bye-bye.
Take care, man. See you. Awesome. All right, let's get John White into the call. John White, you're on the call. John, no. You disappeared, bro. So I tried to bring you on, John, and it like when I got you on the stage, it like deleted. So maybe you had to get off or something. I'm gonna bring on Angel Stark. Try to get back in there, man. Angel. Angel, are you there? Angel 1221. Can you hear me? Test. Test, Angel. Test. Are you there, bro? All right, man. I'm gonna have to disconnect you. I'm sorry, bro. It wasn't working. Kicks Star Wars with Kel. Wait, what? Kicks with Kel. You're on the call. I'm bringing you on. Hello, Kicks with Kel. Hello.
Yo, dog.
Hey, what's up, man? Got you.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. You know what I mean? Just trying to sort out my feelings. You know.
Right.
Overall,
Definitely.
I'm
No,
doing well.
The one thing I really wanted to point out, and I think like a couple of people have kind of said it in the chats, but so I went in and kind of watched your video before I went in, not like fully, but kind of saw a couple things, saw your Twitter, and I was like, all right, let me see what the expectations are. Went in. The only thing that I could say that really bothered me about the movie itself is just how many times the characters would like move their head to take off their mask or their helmet, and that's been kind of like a reoccurring thing throughout like many of the movies, throughout like all of the phases. Realistically, Iron Man does it, Black Panther does it. Like there's a lot of them that it's almost like any second that they get a chance to show their face, it's like, oh, we got to do it, and that is one thing that just takes me out of like the element of watching the movie.
Yeah, because it feels like they're just trying to get their actor face shown. That's kind of what you're saying, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like too many times where Black Panther would do it, or, you know, just too many times Cassie did that last night. And I was like, well, I would rather just not see her face. And even on the MODOK aspect of things,
yeah,
I think that MODOK would have been better if he just used that first voice and he would have been a little bit more opposing. But as a comic relief, I felt like he did an all right job. But I kind of understand what you're saying. He could have been a little bit better during the movie.
Yeah. I think that, you know, obviously he's designed as like sort of comedic relief, and I think it does function in some ways, like you said, but it was just so bizarre looking to me. Like I was like, dude, what is this? And then I don't know how, like the ending when he's like dying and stuff, I was just like, wow, dude, like they're just kind of digging in on this, and like they're like just squeeze as much out of this MODOK as we possibly can, which I did think was a mistake. But so you're saying kind of generally you liked it? Like what's your kind of score for it?
I liked the movie, honestly. I was able to get into the theater kind of early yesterday. Got the nice popcorn collectible.
Nice.
And there was nobody in my theater for probably the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then you know, first 20 minutes, the credits kind of go by.
Uh-oh. I'm losing you a little bit, bro. You're breaking up. You got robot voiced, man. Hang on. Maybe it'll get better in a second. Your connection went crazy. Are you still there? Are you still there, Kel? All right, I'm gonna take him out. Hey, look, I appreciate it. I thought it was a good call, good points. But yeah, like this connection issue at the end there. But I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's do. All right, we gotta do. I'm gonna do Matei, okay, and then I'm gonna do Kendall, and I'm gonna do Vito, and then I'm probably gonna get out of here. I really appreciate it, but we're kind of running out of time, so let's get Matei in here. Matei. What's up, man?
Am I on?
You're on, brother.
Oh, nice. Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm
Good.
good, man. How are you?
Nice. I'm doing good. I'm just chilling. This new semester is starting, so I'm trying to chill for a bit. But
Gotcha.
I wanted to speak to you about Quantumania. But when I was listening to Stormy, uh, I just kind of wanted to um, add something to that because I also like late last year, around like Andor and then kind of the James Gunn stuff. I was like, I didn't think you were handling that really well, and I also wanted to like kind of stop watching. But I was like, hey, I mean, I've been subscribed to the main channel for years. I've been 18 months as a member here, so I was like, yeah, let me stick around. And I'm fucking glad I did because I think you're handling this really well. And even though I disagree with you on Quantumania in some ways, and by the way, I think we're bound to disagree because I love Endor and I
Yeah.
hate Multiverse of Madness.
Oh
So
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, but no, look, I think you're doing this really well, and you're kind of doing the Josh overacting thing, but also I think you're being respectful, and you have some good points. I agree with some of your points, but yeah, you're being really cool about it. So I just want to say, I think you're also growing. So
Thank you.
congrats on
Thank you.
that.
No, I appreciate
But,
it. And yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Good.
no, sorry. Well, I want to say about Quantumania that I agree with some of your points. I think the editing is just so bad.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the worst Marvel movies in terms of editing, I think. And like, especially you brought up the gang and what's her name, Michelle Pfeiffer scene, and that was bad. And also, do you remember when Gang was holding Cassie and Scott in the prison, and he was like, he had them pushed up against the wall, and then he let them go. There was like 7 cuts in 1 second. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Dude,
What
there
the
was a
fuck?
lot. Like, there was too much to try to keep track of because there were like even just really weirdly placed cuts where I was like, what is going on here? So yeah, no, I definitely and look, you know what that is them making changes right up to the last minute, and just
Yeah.
they're not able to kind of, make smooth it out, so to speak. So
Yeah, I felt that way about the ending because like I was watching it and then I thought they were gonna. I wasn't keeping up with the leaks like recently. I only knew like the main points of what's gonna happen, but I didn't actually know what the ending was gonna be. So I thought it was gonna be, God gets stuck in the quantum realm, and Kang gets out. And then when they changed it, when Wasp came back, and then Cassie sort of like reopened the portal, I was like, that's not, no way. They must have shot this like last week. No way. That
Yeah.
felt so unnatural and so weirdly written and edited. No way. But other than that, I mean, I think the movie was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It's like a 6.5, 7. I think
Yeah.
what I love about it, it's so comic booky. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching it. I was like, man, I'm watching a comic book, and it's goofy, and I love it. So
Yeah.
that's nice. But the script, the script, I thought it was like not not great. But then I watched Magic Mike's Last Dance yesterday.
Yeah.
That script makes Quantumania look like the fucking Godfather Goodfellas. That shit.
Yeah.
That was genuinely the worst script I've ever fucking seen in my life. But hey,
Damn.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
just Magic Mike.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for sure.
and the last point I wanted to make, I actually liked Cassie. I do think that the way they handled the recast was fucking shitty. They should have at least told the actress that they're gonna recast her. I mean, the actress from Endgame.
Yeah, I
But
agree. Emma, right?
yeah, I don't remember her name. Sorry, but I think Catherine is fine. I didn't think she was bad in the movie. I think she was okay, but I think she looks like an aged up version of the Cassie we know. I think she looks genuinely like her, and
does,
she
yeah.
feels like her. So that's important to me. It feels like she feels more consistent with the Cassie we know than did you say Emma from Endgame?
Yeah.
But then again, I admit that Emma had like 1 minute of screen time, so
Sure.
it's not
yeah.
really like on her. But yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean, I get what you're saying. I look, for me, it was kind of like stand out bad, but from the consensus that I've kind of seen, like it doesn't seem like a lot of people totally agree. I think just like the movie, I think a lot of people are kind of like it was fine. Like it's not like a crazy good. Like when I was watching Winter Soldier last night, I just think Scarlett Johansson does not get enough credit. Like Scarlett Johansson took some small lines in Winter Soldier and just gives them like this pithiness that's like it's very cool. And I didn't feel any of that with her. So maybe she's still got some to grow, and we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see where it goes.
But also, like, that's Scarlett Johansson we're talking about. She's like one of the best actresses ever. So
yeah, I agree.
It's a tough comparison. But
yeah.
And also, I think about the script, I think the movie was written like kind of weirdly, but I think Jeff Loveness absolutely nailed Kang. I think he was really well written. So at least from that perspective, I'm like sort of positive about Kang Dynasty and him writing it. But I do hope that maybe he gets like some advice from some more experienced writers about like structure of like stories. Because
I totally
really
agree.
didn't feel like because while I don't think a movie needs the 3-act structure, it needs to have some structure, and this just had no structure. This was like scenes basically, and I think it wasn't flowing very well. So yeah, I
think that's fair. There's some good stuff there, and the Kang scenes are probably the thing that's like the coolest, and I'm most excited to see him expound on. But yeah, the structure thing is it's gonna definitely bug me. So yeah. But hey man, look, I really appreciate the call. I appreciate the kind words, man.
Yeah, of course, man.
Thank you very much. Yep, take care, brother. All right, let's get Vito on here because I think he's on break and I don't want him to get fired. Vito, you're on the call. And then I'm gonna close this out with Kendall, guys. I know there's other people in here that want to talk. We'll do another one soon. But Vid, did I not bring you on? Vito! It is a long stream, for sure. Vid, I can only wait a couple more seconds, bruh. He's not on the call, bruh. Vid! You're on, but I can't hear you, brother. Oh, no. Is it the phone, maybe? Vito! I like that picture, too, man. Is that you in Times Square there? Vid, brother. See if you can get it working. I'm going to see if you can get it working and get back in here, but it's like not working for whatever reason. I'm going to bring on Kendall, and then if you can get back on, let me know. Kendall!
Josh, what's good, brother?
What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hey, just real quick before I get on Quantumania, that poster for the Marvels. I'm telling you.
It looks nice. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah. And a little Easter egg, too, right? Because it looks like, how we're thinking there may be, well, never mind. I'll shut up. But it kind of, to me,
I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But, yo, so I just want to ask you, man, like, for me, this movie, it tried it with Kang. And, like, Kang hit because Jonathan Majors, it's like, if you put LeBron on a crappy team, the team is still going to make the playoffs. So, right,
maybe the finals.
That's what Jonathan Majors did in this case. But, like, I'm kind of torn on it because, one, definitely feel like it should have been a Phase 4 movie. But then, two, is this a bit of them kind of knee-jerking? Because, I don't know, like, I feel like it would have been a better movie for Ant-Man. Like, we wouldn't have been so hyped up. We've been able to accept it for what it was. If MODOK was maybe the main villain and he was being sent by Kang. You know what I mean? If Kang wasn't the one to be defeated, if MODOK was the one that you had to defeat, and then we could still get the post-credit scene with Kang, we could still get the Kang Easter eggs, maybe that elevates it more. But to me, it's just, I give the movie a 7, but it just knocked it down to the wonky Ant-Man stuff that was in the movie. Like, that's just really everything I don't like about the movie is Ant-Man movie stuff. When it comes to how Kang's defeated, that's textbook Ant-Man movie stuff, is like how he's defeated in that type of wonky way. He was almost defeated like Darren Cross was, if you think about it.
Yeah, no, he was.
So, like, my thoughts are just like, one, Marvel kind of is going for it too. I don't know. It felt like they were kind of pushing too much, and I know we've been asking for them to kind of peel the layers back, show us what we're doing. But even with that post-credit scene with the Council of Kangs, felt like they just ripped the Band-Aid off instead of just like, the Council of Three would have been enough. You know what I mean? Instead of giving us that wonky shit. I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts? Like, it kind of just feels like they're trying to go too hard, trying to push too much, kind of a knee-jerk reaction. I don't.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts on it, and like I don't know for sure, right? But it seems like what happened was a lot of changes due to the screenings. So, like for instance, I think originally it was just way more MODOK, and I think that there was not enough Kang, and I think that people were like in the testing, people were like more Kang, like they get these little sheets they got to fill out and shit, and I think people were like more Kang, and I think that MODOK was just not hitting with people. And so they decided to take MODOK in a weird direction, and then they like just put more Kang into it. But here's what I think happened. I think it's a poorly conceived movie that then whimsically was changed due to the audience. Whereas if they had a better actual structural idea for the film, I think the screening feedback would have led them in a better direction. But essentially, they kind of turned in like Goobly Glob, and then people were like, well, I like this part of the Goobly Glob, and I don't like this part. And then they morphed the movie around that feedback instead of like having an actual arced out story for Scott or MODOK or Kang or whatever. So again, that's speculation, but that's kind of what I think is like, dude, this movie was just poorly conceived, and therefore everything after that is like weird.
But bro, I want to ask you though, like, if we're thinking about introducing Kang, right? Where else do you go to introduce Kang? If Kang's going to be introduced in a solo movie, right? And this may be like a shitty place where we are with Marvel. It's like if Kang's going to be introduced in a solo movie, what other character do we have right now that you would, want to elevate to be facing off against Kang? Doctor Strange is the only like OG face, 2-3 character that I can think of off the top of my head that's still left and would be able to handle that. So then that just falls on to Ant-Man. And like, maybe it would have been better if they started off with the Fantastic Four doing this. Agreed. To me, there were better ways to bring in Kang than doing it this way with Ant-Man, because it just makes it feel so small. I mean, as much as I love Kang, like I said, a 7. I give it a 7 because I enjoyed the movie. It's just they just left so much on the table, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's where it takes me down, though. So
well, it's. I'll take you out of here. I'll expound on this a little bit, and then I'll bring Vito in. But I appreciate it as always, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
All right, so let me answer this question here. It is tricky, and I think, moving forward, that's why I think it's literally just a bad concept. The idea itself from jump was something they should have reinvestigated, because now the problem is not only how do you introduce Kang again, but how do you do the variants, like even the Victor Timely thing. Like, it kind of seems like the Avengers are going to have to like mess around with all of these, for lack of a better word, sort of lower tier versions of Kang. Like, that's the Kang. The guy we just saw in Quantum, that's the guy. Like, it has to be. He was exiled. He gets sucked into the quantum machine thing. Like, he's literally so dangerous that they trapped him. The whole Council of Kang is like, no, this is the bad egg. So that has to be the guy. So how then do we go from that into dealing with his variants and feel anything similar as far as threat level as we did, with Thanos? And I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions here, and I think that Majors will eat it up no matter what. But I think that they need to really think about that and really decide on how they're going to establish Kang as the threat. It's a weird, it's a weird situation. But anyway, let's bring Vito in here. Vito!
Hello, can you hear me?
I got you. Got you, man. What's up?
All right. Sorry about that before. My Bluetooth wasn't hooked up, but I got it.
No worries.
So
no worries.
Let me start off by saying, no, I did not see this movie. But the signs are all there. It's not what we want. And who is we, you say? I'm saying anyone over the age of 15 and over. Does this movie not pander a lot to just being jokey and nothing that serious?
No, it does. It does.
Right? So if it does that, you know what that reminds me of? People don't pay bills. People who haven't been to like war or
Yeah.
experienced serious situations. You know, what I loved about Marvel and what I love about DC is because as a kid, bro, I was just a nerdy kid in high school. I wasn't popular, like wasn't on any sports teams, nothing like that. So I had comic books and I stayed home and I played video games and I loved that fantasy shit. And it's to me it's a joke now.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. She-Hulk, it ended with it being a joke.
Yeah.
And, oh, you see this writing? You see how Marvel is? Haha, you guys are nerds. You guys are funny.
Yeah.
What? This movie again, just from what I'm hearing, right? I know you. Dude, I've known you for 2 years. I got a badge to prove it.
Yeah.
And we like the similar shit. This is not serious, bro. This is not... I understand okay, let's say they want to make it for younger generations, younger kids. This is the new age humor. Look at Thor. He wants to be like Deadpool. Everyone wants to be Deadpool. Everyone wants to be a comedic relief, right? What about the fans who've been there for 30 years? 30 years, dog. I'm 35.
No, I know.
That's why I'm pissed, bro. Listen, you know how much how forward I was looking to this movie? I was gonna wait so I can get it in 4D because I'm in New York now, right?
Yeah.
So I was gonna wait, watching in 4D where the seats moves. I was super excited. And after hearing this, it's like, dude, what the
Yeah.
curse?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, bro? It's starting to. It's
Yeah,
okay.
and
Here's
I think-
the thing. Some people
go
say
ahead.
you
Go.
don't like it, you have to watch it. I understand, but I fucking love this shit because this is what I had. Right? I'm a fan of 30 years. So let's start at the 30-year mark, just for the fuck of it, right? And say who loves this movie that has watched it for 30 years. And you have to critique other movies you didn't like. You can't just say I love everything. We can't just be a hippie on the situation. And you know what I'm talking about. I have a channel, so they can't ban me. But you know what? I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I have a certain point of view. I'm over 30. I was born in the 1900s. Whatever the fuck you want to say. That's what comic books were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we grew up on those stories. We didn't grow up on whatever the fuck they're trying to do now. Everything's a joke. Ragnarok. Perfect example. Serta. Serta is a motherfucking demon who can destroy everything. He's joking around with Thor. Everything's a joke, bro. Is this the future of the MCU? Somebody needs to be held accountable, right?
Yeah.
FEIGE,
Yeah, I agree.
Mr. I'm a 50-year-old person who's loved Marvel as long as I have and older. How are you gonna let this slide?
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, it's true. No, it's all good.
But
when I was watching,
I'm pissed.
I understand. When I was watching Winter Soldier, I was just reminded that, and it's not just that the movies were more serious. It felt like the whole effort of what Marvel was even doing was trying to get you to accept an actual reality in which that character could exist, right? So like Cap,
Why does every movie need to be a Deadpool movie?
No, it doesn't. But I do think that like there was an effort before to try to like establish. It's almost like the Batman Begins thing, where they want to make Batman Begins accessible and understandable in like a real world. It's obviously not actual reality, but it's like it feels real enough that you're like, yo, I could see that. And there's like you can just see that all over.
Bro.
Yeah.
Even the animated Batman series, he's in the real world. Even when you go back to the very first episode, because the first episode started with him as Batman. When you go to, like, let's say, Mask of the Phantasm. How do I know that? Because it came out in the early 90s, and I'm fucking old. And I've seen it, so I've been a fan that long, right?
Yeah.
Remember when he was Batman? It was just like Batman Begins. Even him dressing up and, like, going out and scoping out the place like he did. He's like, I'm going to live among the criminals, da-da-da-da. The same concept. Written in a different language, or you know what I mean? They're not translated. Like, it's not the same.
Right.
And
now, to be fair,
this is
though,
newer humor because I'm old enough to say I've seen it. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
Now, the only thing I'll say is that it does, to me, appear that like the Ant-Man movies were kind of always like that, right? I mean, you have Edgar Wright energy. They choose to do Scott Lang instead of Hank Pym. They changed Scott in the MCU so that he's more goofy. He's not like that in the comics. And so I think, there's an argument to be made that like Marvel's always had really grounded, realistic stuff, and then it's also had this. But the thing that's interesting about some of the best Marvel movies is that they take a character like Ant-Man, and through his lensing and perspective, they actually show us some of the most horrifying shit. So, like, when he comes back and, like, he's first realizing how crazy the world is, and then him wanting to, like, change it and all these different things. So there's a way to, like, take those characters and still have real stakes and have, like, mature things going on. And to me, I think that this movie just really didn't do it. So let me ask you this question. I think we're getting to a point where a lot of audiences are tiring, I think, of that Marvel quippiness and of that. Do you think that with something like maybe Daredevil Born Again and with Deadpool 3, even though it's a goofy movie, like, do you see them listening to that feedback and changing it tonally, maybe with like Thunderbolts and stuff, or like, you think so?
Yes, because we have bullied them before, and the internet will continue to do it again.
True.
Dude, listen, I understand some people like it, right? Just even listening to the people come before, I can't see the chat, but I could hear, the speakers.
Right.
And I understand, like Stormy, I love Stormy. And I feel like he's much more of a positive thinker, which is good, and he's like, the scope of the family and how, it doesn't, to me, I've been like a little jaded and hurt throughout my life, so I kind of had, not say pessimistic, but a more serious, not everything can be happy-go-lucky point of view sometimes. Mm-hmm. And when something I love, like, I was waiting for this movie to be like, Kang is going to be that, I can't say it, but that guy, you feel me? And he's going to come through, and this movie's going to change the tone, all right? They got their She-Hulk, they got their Miss Marvel, they got that, all happy-go-lucky, got Thor again, happy-go-lucky. What about my shit? Mm-hmm. And there's a difference. Yeah. Like, a Batman, he's gothic. He's not like a Spartan. Like, what about my heart and shit? Like, you go through a lot of shit when you're younger. You go through military. Like, what about us, bro? What about a warrior? And Daredevil is a warrior. I'm sorry. He is. No, you don't train like that. You don't be like that, and you don't even have the ability to fight like that without being a warrior, right?
And he's fighting his own demons. That's sort of a part of Matt, is like, he's got demons. So he actually wants to hurt people. And if they
make it into a Deadpool is like that because he can't die. He can do whatever you want. That's why it's so funny to him. He was comedic before, but it doesn't matter. He could, like, it's funny too. He gets serious at sometimes too, but that's Deadpool. That's his shtick. Bro, Daredevil is hurt. And if they turn him into like a comedic, like, oh, everything's okay, it's happy-go-lucky, I fight crime because I'm blind and this is why I do it, it's fun.
No, they can't do it.
Like, bro, I hope they don't, because listen to me, right? I'm one voice. I'm projecting this into the universe if I have to. I don't care what it is, but I'm not kidding. This is how I feel. This isn't just I don't know, I want to sound like a bitch, but I'm genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this shit hurts my feelings, bro. Like, I just want something to make me happy. Like Man of Steel, for example, right?
Yeah.
Now, James Gunn did say he was doing Superman Legacy, like All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman is amazing. And he's super positive Boy Scout, right? So if he does it like that, yes. But look at Man of Steel. That's more like me, like my... Do you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like I can relate to it more. I understand, yes, we need to make things for everyone. It's not for everyone, but it's a long time, bro. It's like, how many shows and movies are going to keep doing this for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think now the feedback, though, is pretty palpable. I mean, at this point, they have to know. They just have to know that audiences
that's why you're so mad, because this movie was supposed to be the okay, they had their fun in Phase 4. They let whoever do whatever. Now it's time to get serious. And it's not serious.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And I'm like, that's I think why it hurts so bad for me too. Is just I'm like, I really thought this was the moment. Like they don't all have to be like that.
One of the biggest arguments they were saying against you, like I said in that chat, I said, dude, you don't give a fuck about the Flash movie. Like you were looking at Ezra Miller like he's the worst person on the face of the earth. And you thought that trailer was amazing.
Yeah.
Because you give an honest opinion about it.
Right.
You don't have to twist your words and shit like that. You just tell how it is. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that because there are so many people on the internet who do that, who play to the crowd and just switch teams and shit. No, you tell the truth. That's it.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your authenticity. A lot of people are cheering you on in the chat. Some people are like, "No, Veed, you're going too crazy," but no, I totally get it, man. And I think, no, you're good. It's good to be passionate about these things, and I think that it's totally okay. Like this is my overall feeling, man. Is like there is a world where you feel satisfied. I feel satisfied, and a ton of us feel satisfied, and there's different flavor and there's different things that we gravitate to, but overall the palette and the stuff that's
I can give you a perfect example, Infinity War.
I would agree with that.
There's not a single person in here who's like, hey, Infinity War wasn't good.
Right. 100% agreed. I agree with you.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Of
so you know
course,
I'm in New York, baking cakes and stuff.
Yes.
Frenchie Cake Designs is where me and my uncle we do. Just chilling. I'm actually at work. So thank you so much for giving me the time to talk and much love, man.
Of course. Much love, man. I'm looking forward to trying some of those cakes.
Hell yeah.
All right. Peace out, bro.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys. I'm going to end the call. I thought that was a good last call. Yo, Veed is fired up, huh? Veed is fired up. Telling him how he feels. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to go over a couple last minute of these soupy soupas, and then we're going to get on out of here, okay? Much love. Much love. Hey, Josh, just dropping the super chat. Hope everything is doing well. I'm going to pass on this movie as we have very similar opinions. I'll see you in the Prime stream. Yeah, Prime stream probably going to have to be 2:15 now, just because we're kind of running low on time here. Fernie says, yo, I just realized it's officially been a year of making videos with you. Started with Book of Boba Fett. Now we're about to move into a new season of Mando. Nerd Vengeance for life. Hey, I appreciate it, man. And Fernie, I think you've been killing it on the edits, especially a lot of the really recent stuff. Really good stuff. So I appreciate you, bro. Josh says, those ants gave me Annihilus vibes at the end of Quantumania, which means Annihilus could beat Kang. Ooh, yeah, with the Annihilation wave. I like that, actually. That's interesting. Why didn't they just do that? Mikkel says, happy Friday. Thanks for letting me in the call. My connection at work was whack, but essentially, yes, I like the film, but ready for heavy hitters. Hey, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for the love. Big Ron says, Quantumania played it serious when it needed to. I don't know that I agree, but I guess I kind of feel where you're coming from, if that makes sense. But much love. Much love. All right, everybody. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And still a lot of content, a lot to talk about with regards to the movie, the fallout of the movie, what's coming for Marvel. We're still riding with it. It is not panic time yet. And again, I really appreciate you all. So thank you so much for being here. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, fine. Big round. The answer to the start of the Technic arcs. What are you talking about? What are you even talking about there, man? Like, what are you talking about? The Universal Church? What are you even talking about? All right, see you guys. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, thought it was a good stream. Thought it was a fun time. Appreciate y'all. I really do. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Yeah, big Guarana around. I looked it up. You're talking about the phalanx, right? The people that become the phalanx, right? That's an interesting concept. I don't know if I like it. But I hope they do the phalanx. That would be interesting, for sure. You know, I was kind of worried about this stream, if I'm going to be honest with you. I was kind of like, oh no. Am I going to go too hard? Am I going to upset some folks? Are we going to have a bad time? But we got it done. And you know what? It was a good one. I appreciate all the love, and I appreciate you guys noticing I'm trying to do better. And let's just keep on keeping on. Remember, open up your third eye and wash your stinky butt. I'll see you later.